Hello. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Ongole Branch Chairman Sri K. Rajendra Prasad Garu to give his welcome speech.
Good evening, all of you. Respected today's chief guest, CA G.Bala Garu, senior member of Ongole Branch, CA Dr. CA Abhishek Murali Garu, today's faculty, regional council member, secretary, SIRs of ICA 2021, young, energetic and dynamic speaker, past chairman of our Ongole Branch, senior members of the profession, and my dear professional colleagues. A warm welcome to all of you for the today's CPE seminar on new changes in IT website and changes in ITR forms. Let me congratulate all of you on this happy Friendship Day. Happy Friendship Day to all of you. Today's chief guest, CA G.Bala Garu, is a senior chartered accountant and well known to all of us. To introduce our senior members to the young members, from the last 2-3 seminars, we have started introducing our senior members. For the previous seminar, we have introduced CA P.V. Ranganathan Garu to our members. Today, we are introducing CA G.Bala Garu, senior member of our Ongole Branch, to our members. His biodata later will be presented by CA G. Sudhir. He is none other than his son and partner. Dear members, Income Tax Department has launched a new portal on 7th June 2021 with a view to have a seamless experience. It's an ultra-modern website with a lot of new features. But even though 50 days are over, instead of seamless experience, we are having a stressful experience with the new IT website. To update our knowledge in the income tax, it's a regular phenomenon to have a CPE seminar on ITR forms every year. Last time we have requested C. Abhishek Murali Garu to give his presentation on capital gains. It was a very super successful seminar, So hence we have requested again him to give presentation on this ITR forms. He is very young and energetic. His presentation is quite good last time. So we are expecting similar presentation this time. We congratulate sir. Sir recently has been elected as a president for the All India Taxpayers Association. So see, we require a special session to present his biodata. It is around 7 pages. Later, our presentation of the person will give only a few details about him. We will show his biodata in the chart. Dear members, Ongole Branch is having a website, a YouTube channel. All our videos are being uploaded in Ongole Branch of SIRs of ICA YouTube channel. See, in the recent past, see earlier, whenever we go to movie, we used to see a houseful boards on the movie theater for the top heroes. Now, after Corona, we are rarely seeing such houseful boards. But now we are seeing such houseful votes in Ongole branch. Thank you all the members. All our recent seminars are 100% houseful, not only successful, 100% houseful. Thank you one and all. I request the members to update the knowledge and ask any questions. See, the session is going to be very interactive. He's going to deal a lot of issues here. He's closely associated with the income tax department and taxpayers. Definitely his presentation is going to be very helpful for us. Once again, I request the members not to leave the seminar till the end. At the end of the seminar, we are going to put the Google Forms. Please fill the Google Forms to get your CP hours. I once again thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai ICA. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad Garu. Now I request CA G. Sudhir to present his father, today's chief guest. It is a rare opportunity, Sudhir.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
So, good evening, everyone, sir.
Where is video?
Where is video?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yes. Okay, continue.
వస్తుందని చెప్పి పక్కకు వచ్చాను సార్.
Okay, అర్థమైంది.
సార్ ఈ రోజు స్పీకర్ ని నేను ఇంట్రొడ్యూస్ చేయడం అంటే చాలా హాస్యాస్పదంగా ఉంది నాకు. వారు మా నాన్నగారే. వారి గురించి నన్నే చెప్పాలంటాం అనేది చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది నాకు కూడా. మా నాన్నగారు 1953లో జన్మించారు. వారి నాన్నగారి పేరు సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం, వారి అమ్మగారి పేరు వెంకటరత్నమ్మ. వారికి ముగ్గురు పిల్లలండి, 2 ఆడపిల్లలు, నేను ఒక్కడిని. 2 ఆడపిల్లల్ని పెళ్లి చేసి బెంగళూరులో సెటిల్ అయ్యారు వారు. నేను ఇక్కడే ప్రాక్టీసింగ్ చార్టెడ్ అకౌంటెంట్ గా ఉన్నాను. నా భార్య కూడా ప్రాక్టీసింగ్ చార్టెడ్ అకౌంటెంట్, తన పేరు లావణ్య. మా నాన్నగారు 1977లో సిఏ పాస్ అయ్యి 1977 నుంచి ప్రాక్టీస్ లో ఉన్నారు. వారు చదువు బాల్యం అంతా కూడా ఒంగోలులోనే జరిగింది. వారి ఎస్ఎల్సి కాలేజ్ అంతా కూడా ఒంగోలులోనే పాస్ అయ్యారు వాళ్ళు. వారి యంగ్ ఏజెస్ లో చాలా యాక్టివ్ గా ఉండేవాళ్ళు. ఇక్కడ ఉన్న ఒంగోలు జేసీస్ క్లబ్, లయన్స్ క్లబ్, వివిధ క్లబ్బుల్లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేశారు. మన ఒంగోలు సిపిఈ సర్వీస్ సర్కిల్ కూడా వాళ్ళు చైర్మన్ గా ఉన్నారు. ఇంకా చాలా మంది సిఐకి రావటానికి, ఒంగోలులో కొత్త సిఎల్ రావటానికి ఒక గౌరవమైన ఒక పొజిషన్ తీసుకొచ్చింది ఇలాంటి సీనియర్ చార్టెడ్ అకౌంటెంట్ అని చెప్పడానికి చాలా గర్వంగా ఉంది మాకు. వారిని చూసే మేము కూడా ఈ ప్రొఫెషన్లోకి వచ్చాము. నాలాంటి వాళ్ళు కొంతమంది కూడా నాన్నగారు లాంటి సీనియర్స్ చూసి వచ్చారు. వారి కింద ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయటం నాకు చాలా గర్వంగా ఉంది. అదొక భాగ్యంగా భావిస్తున్నాను నేను కూడా. ఇటువంటి వారిని ఈరోజు ఈ మీటింగ్కి ప్రెజెంట్ చేయడం నాకు సంతోషంగా ఉంది. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
Thank you, Sudhir, for your wonderful introduction of your father. Super.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
సార్ బాలా గారు, మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మాట్లాడదు సార్. యూ కెన్ స్పీక్ నౌ. We are all waiting to hear you. Unmute చేసుకోండి సార్. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. First of all, happy Friendship Day, Shubhakankshu. Respected Chairman of ICA Ongole Branch, respected Speaker Sri Abhishek Murali, and my dear colleagues, Namaste. Friends, it gives me great pleasure to talk with you all. I thank our ICA Ongole Branch Chairman for giving this opportunity. I won't give thanks to my son, Sudhir. I think he has not properly introduced me because of last minute inclusion. Okay. ICA Ongole Branch selected a subject and inviting veteran speaker, dynamic speaker, Shri Abhishek Murali for this good and needy subject. I know many of us not yet started filing of returns. Thanks to Infosys for giving time for learning, and thanks to FM Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman for extending due date for filing of returns. Dear colleagues, IT return is a way of communication by SSC to the department, and IT website is a way of communication from IT department to the SSC. Today, Sri Abhishek Murali will explain in detail on both aspects, that is new of IT website and ITR forms. Friends, with my little experience, I want to share the following with you. Friends, choose correct IT return form. Wrong selection may lead for non-processing of the return. Friends, returns are being changed every year. So, before due date of filing of IT return, in case of SSCs having business income and filing form number 3 or 4. And in case of salaried persons, before filing the return, he has to file form 10 1E to avoid and giving chance to department to calculate tax liability in existing rates. Disclose all the information, because any mistakes and errors in data entry, errors may lead in raising additional demand under section 143(1)(a) or selecting the case for scrutiny. Friends, recently I read in the website services button, options to file rectification petition missing in IT portal. It means that we have no option except filing appeal, because 154 petition is not being accepted. Unnecessarily, party has to pay 20% tax tax amount on the tax amount. So take all precautions while filing the IT return. Compare and reconcile TDS with the 26 AS, GST for returns and other necessary papers. So take care while filing and enter correct data at the appropriate column. Friends, here I will tell my own experience, our own experience. In computation statement of a firm, partner's interest and remuneration was shown as interest 20 lakhs and remuneration 30 lakhs. But in form 3CD, it was reversed. That is, salaries were shown as 30 lakhs and the remuneration was shown as 20 lakhs. Immediately, CPE has added the 10 lakhs for wrong information. Unnecessarily, we have to go on appeal because 154 petition was not accepted. So, by filling, enter correct data at the appropriate column. Be cautious while uploading the return, and as new functionalities are being introduced every year in the website. Total change of website during the year, Friends, first of all, we have to educate our clients regularly and properly. You know, recent amendment of 194Q, 206IH, etc. How many parties know that clauses, sections? I don't know. Accountants, we should learn them, we should teach them. Even though we say they will write simply 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, even the owner doesn't know the names of the persons, where he has written, what he has written. And the payments made to creditors or cash bills above 10,000 are being entered as it is, which may lead for disallowance. So educate your accountants regularly. We are mostly our accountant, but depend on our accountants because the owner will not write their books, compare their books, verify their books before coming to us. So these are all practical side of the functionalities and IT returns. Educate clients to verify their emails regularly and inform the information to the auditors. Otherwise, the time will be lapsed and unnecessary 144 and other assessments will be done, and see, we have no other go for appeals. These are all practical problems that everybody knows, but only for cautious sake, I have told all these things. So this is correct time for us and occasion to know all the changes from experienced person like Sri Abhishek Murali, who is the most popular in South India and as well as in India. I think he will become president of our institute also because he is only very young, and within 2 years he will become Sikasa chairman, and later he will, within 9 years, he will go for Central Council and become president of. I wish him all the best because when I qualified, he was not born. That's why my wishes are all for him. Thank you for giving this opportunity, friends. Hope I have not spoken unnecessary matters. With this, I conclude. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Bala Garu. So with your permission, we will start our technical session, sir. Now I request T. Vaishnavi to present the today's speakers, Dr. C. Abhishek Murali.
Selecting me for this opportunity. Dr. C. Abhishek Murali is a practicing chartered accountant at Chennai who is the partner of Messrs. Victor, Grace & Co. Chartered Accountants. He is the elected Secretary of the Southern India Regional Council of SIRC of ICA for the year 2020-2021. He is also an All India first rank holder in the SEMA strategy examinations and All India 17th rank in the SEMA final examinations. He also secured the All India 5th rank in the international taxation examinations conducted by CIOT. CA Abhishek Murali is the youngest elected regional council member of the Southern India Regional Council of the ICA for 2 terms in succession for the periods of 6 years, 2016 to 19 and 2019 to 2022, by securing the highest number of votes from Tamil Nadu. He has the honor of being the youngest elected secretary of the SIRC of ICA. During his term as secretary, SIRC won the Best Region Award of the ICA for the first time in more than 10 years. He is an expert in direct taxation, international taxation, litigation, valuations, due diligence, mergers and acquisitions. Dr. C.A. Abhishek Murali has organized and spoken at more than 1,500 seminars, workshops, and conferences. He was felicitated with the Gold Star Award by Padma Shri Dr. Mailswamy Annadurai, Director, ISRO Satellite Center, Moon Man of India, for addressing more than 500 seminars during the COVID period alone. He also received the Abraham Lincoln Excellence Award from the International Peace Council, USA, for his excellence in the tax sector and laudable contributions of repute by addressing more than 500 seminars during the COVID period. Dr. C.A. Abhishek Murali is a member of the Committee for Implementation and Survey of the Faceless Assessment and Faceless Appeal Proceedings constituted by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. He is a non-academia member of the Board of Studies of Madras University. He has also qualified in the Independent Directors Data Bank Online Proficiency Test conducted by the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. He has been nominated as the Honorary First Secretary for the Honorable Consulate of the Republic of Zambia. He has been nominated to the following committees constituted by the ICI New Delhi: Corporate Laws and Corporate Governance Committee of ICI New Delhi 2013-14 and 2014-15. Professional Development Committee of ICI New Delhi 2015-16. Research Committee of ICI New Delhi Technical Reviewer. He has been nominated as chairman of 14 committees constituted by the SIRC of ICI. He has authored 5 books of professional interest. His book on Overview of the Companies Act 2013 is well received in the corporate circle. His books Income Tax Ready Referencer and Taxation of Capital Gains are extensively used by the professionals and government officials alike. He has authored background material for Investors Awareness Referencer published by the ICI, New Delhi. Dr. C.A. Abhishek Murali regularly contributes articles of professional interest in the online magazine Tax Sutra and other leading online portals. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
ma.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir Abhishek Murali garu, it is for you, sir. You can start.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction. A very, very warm good afternoon or good evening to all the members who have joined today's program. Firstly, the chairman of Ongole branch, C.A. Rajendra Prasad Garu, the chief guest for the day, a very senior member, G.Bala sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful address and the blessings you have showered on me. That's very, very kind of you. And it's a privilege to be sharing the dais with you, sir. The other management committee members, Vice Chairman Ranganayakalu, Secretary Chaitanya Reddy sir, Bisani Jaganmohan Rao sir, Treasurer, and Satyanarayan sir, Sikasa Chairman. And of course, I cannot forget a moderator for the day also, silently doing a great job, Kumar sir. Thank you so much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to address the members on this very, very important topic. I always enjoy addressing the members of Ongole branch. As the chairman sir pointed out, we had done a program on taxation of capital gains and real estate transactions, where we got very, very positive feedback. So we thought, let us follow it up with a very more important topic, especially at this point of time, because irrespective of the date being extended, as Bala sir rightly pointed out, you will be still getting calls from your clients. Sir, you have to file return. What, sir, you are not called. I have to give you my form 16. I have to bring these details. I'm sure all of you must be getting calls from your clients because date is extended, they don't know. Website is not working, they don't know. But if you tell them, no, website is not working, date is extended, then they'll come back to you only on 28th of September and 2 days only you'll have to file the return. So it is better for you to accept the details. And even though that is on the lighter note, the point that I'm trying to make is there have been, dear friends, some changes in the ITR forms and certain major changes when it comes to the website itself also, as I'm sure you're aware. As far as the IT returns, the forms are concerned, normally every year we used to find a lot of changes are there, and every year I address on this. This year, the number of changes in the forms are lesser, but the impact of the changes are very, very big. So therefore, we must know this. I'll tell you why. Because some of the changes which have come in the ITR form this year, my dear friends, are going to impact what details you need to collect from the client. Earlier, you used to say, sir, you send this, you send that, okay, over. They themselves automatically, whatever they have been sending you for so many years, they will send that and finish. But this year, you must ensure you need to collect a little bit more information. Now, I'm going to tell you why, my dear friends. We'll start off first with the key changes. And before we understand what are the changes in the IT forms itself, it's important we are aware of certain developments which are happening around this. Now, the first key development, that the important thing that is happening is that the CBDT and the CBIC, that is your GST authorities, have now signed a pact for data share. Last year, when you were filing your returns in July, this pact was not there. Even the extended date, this pact was not there. But if you were filing a revised return or belated return, maybe in March or something, you may have seen a new development where the details of your turnover as per GST returns now is captured in your 26 years. How many of you seen it? I don't know. But the last paragraph of your 26 years now is whatever is your GST taxable returns or whatever is the total returns you have furnished in your GST records. Month on month breakup is there now. I'll tell you why this is important. I still remember my very, very early days of my articleship. I was doing audit of a company. I was doing the audit of sales, so I was checking the ledger and I trying to match it with the income tax returns. I said, it is not matching. I said, it's not matching, sir. What is wrong? Then that accounts manager, he started yelling at his staff. Why you have given a GST ledger to him? You give income tax ledger. I said, sir, GST, sales ledger, income tax is anyway, sales is the same only, no, sir. How does it matter? He said, no, for VAT authorities, we give one set of records. For income tax authorities, we give one set of records. But maybe,
Please mute, sir. Please mute.
somebody is unmuted. Yeah, thank you. So as I was saying, this is one set of records we give to VAT authorities, one set of records we give to income tax authorities. It may seem funny that people are doing this, but my dear friends, even in the GST era, a lot of people are doing, especially in the north. It is a very prevalent practice because they are all confident. Sir, by the time our income tax person writes the VAT person, it will take at least 7 to 10 days. By the time it reaches him, it will take another 1 week. That person will keep it on the table. You will not take any action for 3 or 4 months. After 3 or 4 months, when he responds, that will go back another 15, 20 days time when the transition will happen. By the time it finally reaches the assessing officer, either the order would have been passed or this fellow would have been transferred. So we can just safely assume that they'll accept our figures. Is the assumption that was there before. That is no longer the case. So therefore, now all the records are very much available on the 26 AS itself. And one very important thing. Now I saw one of the questions. Somebody has already raised in the chat box saying, sir, for me GST records, the taxable return as per the GST records is incorrect. It is showing double or it is showing incorrect record. My dear friends, this is one very, very important practice you have to do at the time you are preparing the return or filing the return itself. Prepare a reconciliation statement between whatever is the turnover as per GST records, as per 26 years versus what is your actual turnover. Now, if there is a mistake on the part of the department, and it is also there, I have also encountered it, sir. Don't worry, yours is not a unique case. Many people are encountering this, where sometimes, even though in GST returns what you have furnished is correct, even though the 26 years figures are incorrect, people are still getting the wrong figure in the 26 years. And today we all know CPC, what they do. Anything on small mistake is there also, immediately they will say not allowed. We are disqualifying your refund. You pay a huge demand. So therefore, CPC is going to raise a notice on this. Please prepare. Ensure you prepare a reconciliation statement between your sales as per your actual records, whatever in income tax records you have, versus the sales as per the month-on-month GST returns given in the 26 years and as per real records. If there is a mistake in the 26 years compared to the real records, make note of it. Prepare, like how you prepare your computation. You put one additional sheet in your computation saying reconciliation with 26 years. Make note of it there. So that 6 months later, when that notice comes, you'll have it on record. You'll be able to easily respond to the same. Now, the second major development, my dear friends, is this thing that you see on the screen over here. What is this? In September 2020, the CBDT entered into an information sharing pact with the scheduled banks. This information sharing pact, initially it was meant for certain TDS related matters only, but they expanded the scope. So what does this expanded scope mean? Once again, let me give you a practical example. Number of multinational companies, even CA firms, you take the big fours also, they have number of chartered accountants, several hundred thousands of chartered accountants working. I have seen even in my multinational, be it the clients that I worked with, the organizations I worked at, everything. Normally, how the people over there file the return of income. Substantially, majority of these persons are salaried persons. They do not have business income. How they will file the return? There will be one person in the office. That person will not even be a chartered accountant. In many cases, I have seen they don't even have accounts background. They'll be, in fact, you will be shocked that in one of the offices that I was doing the audit of, the person who used to file the returns for all the staff over there, more than 3,000 staff, so he used to file for majority of them. That person was a peon. He was a peon at that office. He studied and all. He's done some basic degree, but he's working more or less as a peon, and he is filing the returns for 200 rupees per person. He's filing the return. What return he will file? Take the form 16, whatever is there, copy paste and finish it, file the return. Now, for whatever reason, till recently, all of this was accepted without fail. Now, my dear friends, this form 16 filing and all is not going to work. The income tax have started getting information from other sources. Now, how many of you on 30th of March 2020 this year, got calls from the client saying, sir, from compliance, I have got some notice, sir. Some compliance email has come. What is this issue, sir? Can you help? You have made a mistake, like that they will tell you. So then you log into the compliance portal and you will see that some interest income has come from some bank that you have never heard of. Then you will call the client, you will say, sir, have you got any interest income from this Bank of Baroda, etc.? And yes, sir, I had one account. Sir, why you have not disclosed? Sir, we have never disclosed, sir. In 50 years, you have never shown in our income tax return. I said, why you have not shown, sir? Just like that, sir, we have not shown. Then we'll have to tell, no, sir, you have to disclose everything. And finally, he will say it is not active. And when you see interest income will be more than 30,000, 40,000. I don't know how he's saying it is not active. So like this, many people got it on 30th of March. Now, this was the big issue because the last date for filing your revised return was 31st of March. Government did not extend the date. So therefore, 30th of March compliance notice is being sent. On 31st of March, before that one day, you have to check whether the details as per this compliance notice is correct. 2, if it is correct, send it to your client, ask them to check their records if it is correct. 3, they have to check with the bank, get the records verified. 4, confirm it to you. 5, after they confirm, you have to prepare a revised return. They have to pay the taxes, additional self-assessment tax, whatever, and you have to file the return in less than one day. And we all know how the server was operating on 31st of March. So, my dear friends, this was a practical difficulty all chartered accountants faced. But what is the point to take away from here? My dear friends, this is a very, very critical, because number of clients are there, not only salaried persons, even business people are there. Your most closest clients, they do not disclose all the details to you sometimes. Either they forget or they just feel we have not given in the past, why I should give. But they'll all have bank accounts. They'll think TDS, if it gets deducted only, we have to disclose. Now, the banks are reporting every single rupee, sir. There is no limit. You may think, after all, 500 rupees. It does not matter. 500 rupees is also being reported now by the bank to the income tax authorities. So the compliance portal has all this information about your assets. And this will not come at the time of filing. They may report at a later date also. You never know. But your client has to disclose. So my dear friends, please note, this is what we have done as a practice in our office now. We have sent a reminder to all the clients saying, if you have any other bank accounts that maybe you have missed or new bank accounts, please ensure you give all the details of those bank accounts, so that at a later date, they don't come and blame you. Sir, you only didn't do, they will say. So you can now have records saying, we have asked you, you have not given. So please ensure you are careful about this, because this year you saw that issue of the compliance. Next year onwards, they will start issuing notices and penalty will start being initiated, saying incorrect disclosure, wrongful disclosure, etc. So be very, very careful. I can tell you that very, very frankly, there are mistakes done by the bank also here, because I saw 2 or 3 questions have now come in the chat box saying mistake is there. I'll give you an example what happened with one of my own clients. Once when we are filing the return, we have filed everything properly. Then suddenly this compliance notice came on 31st of March, last day. So I called the client, called me, he said, Abhishek, some compliance notice has come, please check it. So I checked the same. I saw in that compliance notice, they said this client has 76 lakhs interest income that he has not offered. 76 lakh savings bank interest income. I was completely shocked. I said, what is the savings bank interest income? 76 lakhs, sir. How you have not shown? He says, I don't have anything like this, sir. I promise I don't have. He started. I'll give you all my bank statements again, sir. You see. I said, sir, I believe you, but this is what the bank has reported. So then he spoke to the bank. On further speaking, what we found out is the bank has reported whatever fixed deposit balance he has, they have reported it as it is savings bank interest income to income tax department. This is what they have done. Forget 26 years, etc. They've already covered same deposit, whatever interest has come, deducted, it's there in 26 years. But despite that, this is how they have been reporting at the bank. So I told the client, let us do one thing, sir. You write to the bank saying, I don't have a problem paying this 76 lakhs, 30% tax on this I will pay. But suppose I am paying, this is the interest income means that it will have one principal amount. No, that principal amount bank has to return to me. If they do that, I am happy to pay the tax on this. So if this is of course, it's a lighter side, but the point to be noted here is ensure you collect the full details from all your clients. Ensure you specifically ask them to disclose all their bank details over here. Somebody suggested we can get a declaration from the client. See, if it is a tax audit case, you can do that. Non-tax audit case, anyway, it is not your responsibility, it is their responsibility. But if you want comfort, because I know there are certain clients who will come back and point the finger at you, even if the fault is theirs. So in those cases, it is better for you to take a declaration for your comfort from them. But normally, an email itself will suffice. Maybe. So let us come to the next point. And Bala sir very rightly touched on this. He said, a lot of changes are there in the IT returns, especially how you are filing the returns. Everything has changed this year. We are all used to filing in Java form. We are all used to filing it in that Excel form. So many people have asked, today is the filing of the returns extremely different from what it was before. My dear friends, I want to give you the comfort. Whatever you are filing, same thing only you are going to be filing now. It is just presented in a slightly different manner. Earlier, it was there in a tabular format, a nice clean format. Now what they have done is large buttons they have put, pages they have put. So instead of filling horizontally, now you are going to fill vertically. That is a major change. Otherwise, all the details that you collect is more or less similar to what was required before. There have been some critical changes, but more or less clear. So this is the example I give. If you have a shop and you're doing a renovation to the shop, so you're changing the full entrance, you're putting a nice glass showcase, you're putting lights, you're putting nice spotlights, you're making a polished table, you're putting 3-4 staff. But at the end of the day, where the goods are stored is the same warehouse only. Whichever dirty old warehouse which is there behind the shop, that is where all the goods are there. So for presentation purpose, certain polishing and all has been done in the returns. But effectively, whatever content is there in this IT returns, you'll appreciate that it's the same thing. So don't get scared. Don't feel that anything has changed. Yes, certain functionality of how you are doing it has changed. But what you need, what you're going to fill is all the same, my dear friends. You will be able to manage it without a challenge. Let us come to the ITR forms, because this is where the first major changes happened this year. Now you're all aware there are 7 ITR forms. ITR 1 normally salaried persons. ITR 2 is for persons who have income from capital gains or beyond the limit, beyond ITR 1. ITR 3 means if you have any business income, you have to file ITR 3. ITR 4 is for presumptive tax income. ITR 5 is for firms, LLP, etc. 6 is for companies. 7 is for your trust, non-profit organization, society, etc. as ITR 7. Now, this is how your ITR forms are traditionally being done. They have not changed the numbers of the form. But in ITR 1, they have brought about certain very, very critical changes. Who can file ITR? My dear friends, the first point. For individuals being a resident other than not ordinary resident. So if you're NRI, you cannot file ITR 1. If you're a not ordinary resident also, you cannot file ITR 1. It is meant only for a resident and an ordinary resident first. Then having total income up to 50 lakhs. That was the case before also. Now that continues, no problem. Having income from salaries, one house properties and other sources. Now, why I stressed on one house property? I'll give you an example. Many times when people file the return, let us take example. I have 2 houses. One house I have let it on rent. The other house I am living in that house with my family, my dear friends. I think somebody is unmuted. Chairman sir, can you just mute them? Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. So as I was saying, ITR 1, let us assume I have 2 house properties. One house property, I have rented it out. The other one is self-occupied. Now, when I'm filing my return, I'm getting, let's assume 30,000 rent from that house. And I am seeing which return I should file. I'm saying ITR 1 is simple return. It's easy to fill. Everything gets pre-filled. Why I should go to ITR 2? Anyway, it's not like I'm not disclosing anything. So I'll file ITR 1. I will disclose only the details of the property I have rented out. And I'll file my return. Now here, is there any mistake in the gross total income? There is no mistake because self-occupied property nil. I'm not claiming any deduction against that. Whatever rented property income I'm offering, whatever standard deduction I'm claiming, and I'm filing my return. So my income from house property is correct. My gross total income is correct. So my taxable income, taxes paid, refund, everything is perfectly matching. So I have not evaded any tax. So can I file an ITR 1 itself in this scenario? Now, this is where the important point is there. Till now, my dear friends, the department did not take a very strong view in these matters. But from this year onwards, they have decided that they will be treating a wrong return file as an invalid return. It will be treated to be an invalid return. And when it is an invalid return, they will give you 15 days time to rectify. If you don't rectify, it will be as if you have not filed the return at all. So therefore, in this case, even though the income details I have given is correct, everything is perfect, amount is matching, I am not evading any tax, all my declarations, everything is perfect, except I have 2 house properties, but I have shown only one, it will be treated as invalid, my dear friends. Till this year, they have taken a lenient view. Till this year, department have been lenient in matters like this, but no more. They have said if you do not meet the criteria, we will straight away treat it as invalid if you don't rectify. So please note, be careful with this. Even though the figures are matching in the example I gave you, the return is wrong, it will be treated as invalid. The next important point for ITR 1. It is not for an individual who is either a director in a company or has invested in unlisted equity shares or has any foreign income, foreign assets. Foreign income, foreign assets is the old rule only. No. Individual who's a director in a company or has invested in unlisted equity shares. That's very interesting. Now, one of my clients happened to be, he is a pretty high-ranking salaried person, still filing in ITR 1 only. So for this gentleman, when we are filing in ITR 1, I happened to ask him, sir, are you a director in any company? No, Abhishek, I am not a director. So then once again, we do a check in the office where for certain people, we will Google their name. So we put in Google, we checked his name, typed the client's name. Immediately it came up on Google saying he was a director of a company. So I called him. I said, sir, it says that you're a director in this Rainbow something company. He said, Abhishek, that is a 20 years old company. In 1990s, I started that company. And that time, I immediately out of college, me and my friends, we started a company. It did not work out. We just left that company. We closed it down. And after that, I've been in employment only. So don't worry, it is nothing. So I said, okay, sir, fine. Anyway, if it is by now, if it is 1990s, company will be inactive, so no problem. But then one more point, sir. Sir, think about it. How many of you get incorporation cases? I'm sure number of people will be approaching you to incorporate companies. How many of you get winding up cases? Maximum 2 or 3 only you will be getting in a year. Because people, they will start companies, but they never wind it up, my dear friends. Nobody winds up, nobody liquidates. Why I am telling you this point is, it is if you are a director in a company, active director in a company, you cannot file ITR 1. You must do ITR 2 or ITR 3. That is okay. But if you have any unlisted equity shares or you're transacted in unlisted equity shares, then also you cannot file ITR 1. So in this assessee's case that I told you, this person may not be a director anymore in the company, but for all practical purposes, he still holds the unlisted equity shares. They have not wound up the company. He is not wound up the company. They have not closed the company. So please be very, very careful. The moment you have transacted or you hold unlisted equity shares, you cannot file ITR. You must file ITR 2 or ITR 3 only. Be very careful about this point. Now, next important point is, if you have any 194N TDS, 194N is a new provision. where for cash withdrawal, where you're withdrawing cash beyond the specified limit. If you're a person who regularly files the return of income, this limit is 1 crore. For non-filers, that limit is 20 lakhs. So if you are withdrawing cash beyond this limit, my dear friends, then you can no longer file in ITR 1. You must file either in ITR 2 or 3 only. And not only that, you cannot carry forward the TDS. 194N, if any TDS is there, it has to be adjusted in that year itself, or you claim it as a refund. You don't have the benefit of carry forward of TDS in case of 194N, my dear friends. Now let us come to the return itself. How to file the return of income. Very, very important changes are there. As I told you, the first major change is what is the software. Earlier, we had a very nice software. Excel was there, Java was there. I used to prefer the Java utility. Some people prefer the Excel. Some people used to do Winman, Computex, all that, etc. Now, this year, they have brought a new facility called JSON Utility. It is called JSON Utility. You can file only that. However, you're doing for your GST audits, your GST returns, the JSON form, same thing now has come for your income tax also. And I can tell you that it is not as smooth as the Excel, but it's okay. It is not bad. Now, I'll give you an example of certain issues which are there with it. Now, you see on the screen over here, it is showing you individual HUF, others, etc. The moment you log in, once you open this new JSON utility, you have to fill in the PAN number, you have to fill in the password, etc. You can try to pre-fill the data. Once you pre-fill the data, for some reason, it will ask you, what is the status of your entity? Do you want to change the status? So why I have never come across a situation where you can change the status of your entity? Because normally we all know, looking at the PAN number, you will be able to tell what type of entity it is, whether individual, company, trust, etc. The format of the PAN number itself, you can tell. But once you log in, it is asking, look at the top. You may change the status of the entity if it is not applicable to you. So you can choose. In this case, it is an individual. Actually, I've logged in as an individual, but it is giving me options to select. I can change the status to HUF or partnership firm, etc. So I thought simply let me try. Purely for academic purpose, I will see others what is there. So I clicked on others. The moment I clicked on others, all these options came up. And you may think that partnership firm option is there, maybe because it is a partnership firm. No, sir. Others are not yet enabled. If you want to select company, AOP, LLP, local authority, and all, you cannot select. Either individual HUF or a partnership firm only you can file right now at the moment. So that is a major drawback, but this is what it is. The next thing it will ask you is to select based on 7th proviso to section 139. What is the 7th proviso? This was there last year also, but as I told you, the consequential thing about invalid return is more important now. Because as per the 7th proviso, my dear friends, what they are expecting now, as per 7th proviso, now earlier return filing was based on income criteria. If I have income beyond the basic amount not chargeable to tax, gross total income exceeds 2,50,000, then I have to file the return. Very straightforward. Now what they are saying, if that itself only 2 to 3% of the population are filing the return of income, that means we have to put the expense-based criteria. You walk down the road of your house, you just walk down to the street. Number of shops will be there. Some of these shops, they'll have customers in that shop all the time. Throughout the day, they will be there. Despite the fact that they're throughout the day, you go and see how much billing they will do. Minimum in a day, they will be billing a couple of lakhs of rupees. Few lakhs of rupees will be their billing per day. Whether these persons have registered in GST, they do not register. Whether they're filing returns, they will not be filing. Most of them won't even have a PAN card, but they're successfully running business for so many years altogether. So this time government has said, stop looking at income. Let us look at expenses. If they're triggering expense criteria, then we must make them file the return of income. So this 7th proviso to 139.1 was an expense-based criteria they have brought for persons to file the return of income. But in this process, certain other people have also got caught. I'll give you an example. One of the criteria is, have you incurred expenditure of an amount or an aggregate amount of 2 lakhs or more for travel to a foreign country, either for yourself or for any other person? Next point, have you incurred expenditure of an amount of rupees 1 lakh or more on consumption of electricity during the previous year? Now, I want to ask you a question here. have you incurred expenditure of amount of rupees 1 lakh on consumption of electricity during the previous? Let us take it. Now you have a client. The person happens to be a very senior citizen lady. She is living in Chennai or she's living in Ongole with her family over there. But her family means her distant relatives are there in her hometown. Her children are all abroad. So her son is now settled in the US. He has been there for many years now. He's a green card holder. He's working in some IT company. So he's telling his mother, please come home, please come to US. Why are you staying alone there? She says, no, 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 all our distant relatives are there. Temple is there in this area. So I want to go regularly. I am very, very happy here. I don't want to come. So I'll be here. So the son says, okay, mother, at least all the expenses you allow me to pay. So whatever bills you have, you send it to me. I will pay the bills. So she'll religiously send the bills to him and he will pay the bills. Now this mother is the owner of the house and she is consuming the electricity when she's at home. She sends the bill to her son who's in the US and he pays the bill. Now who has to file the return of income here? The person who's incurring the expenditure is the son who's in the US, who does not have to file the return of income in India because he does not have any income. The person who's consuming the electricity is a lady who's in India, senior citizen, no income she has. She also doesn't have to file the return, but she is consuming the electricity. There is a lack of clarity. There is a vagueness over here in the provision. So who has to file? Now you can take a stand, the person who's consuming has to file. But department can take a stand, the person who's incurring has to file. So they may say that person sitting in the US has to file the return of income here. So please be careful on this point, because the other one, have you incurred expenditure of 2 lakhs or more on travel to foreign country, either for yourself or for any other person, is clear. Even if I don't travel to foreign country, my wife and my son travel, I am paying their bill, then I have to file the return of income, not them. They might be traveling, but whoever is incurring has to file the return. They're very clear. In electricity, they are not that clear. Now, why these points are important is the department have now set up a tracking unit where you are going with your friends to US, you're going somewhere abroad, you're posing in a photo, maybe top of Empire State Building, you are standing there, you're taking a photo, you're putting it on Facebook, that is getting 1,000 likes, etc. Now, department will also be liking that. Okay, thank you for giving us information. We did not know you have traveled to US at all. So they have now set up a team that is building a 360-degree profile about all taxpayers. So persons who have not filed the return of income at all are traveling abroad to US, UK, they're traveling to multiple countries. So it is not that they can't. Somebody can be sponsoring the trip, but department is raising flags saying, be careful. We have to check this person. Issue a notice, check whether they've got the travel, check whether they're filing the return. So therefore, now they have got a law to compel them to do it. Because till now, if they ask me notice, I'll say, I'm not earning income, sir. Why I should file?
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, generally, some people, housewives mainly, they want to file return because of their son is going abroad or for bank loan purpose or for joining in a college purpose. She don't have any income. She doesn't have any income, zero income. And also all these conditions are not applicable to her. How to file that return then?
So, Kumar sir, how we normally file in this case? Up to basic exemption limit or up to the rebate, now you have up to 5 lakhs. You will file a return of income showing some income, sir. That is what normally we do.
No, zero income. Actually, she doesn't have any income, zero income, or 10,000 rupees from a savings bank account, less than 10,000 rupees. But she wants to file as income. So under section 139(1), she is not required to file the return. And also under these three conditions,
okay,
she is not required to file the condition.
No, you select 139(1) and you go ahead and file it. Because department cannot say you should not file the return of income.
Okay.
One of the biggest mistakes the department did is now if I want to file the return beyond the due date, they are not allowing us to do it. But in my view, assessee should be allowed to file the return. Now, for example, there was a raid case that I was handling where the assessee had old gold, ancestral jewelry was seized. Now, if you do a valuation, you do everything, you can come to find out that it is old jewelry. But department said, listen, you have not filed wealth tax return, so we don't know. So we said, okay, before they raise the issue in some other case, whenever the person is getting seized or whenever there's a such case, if he has not filed the wealth tax return, you file it now. So we filed the wealth tax return. They are coming and saying it's afterthought. So technically, it is not valid. You cannot file a belated return. You cannot file this. And then they are saying you have not disclosed the sources. So therefore, it's weird. Either you allow me to disclose the source, I'm ready to pay the interest, whatever, or you don't make the addition, you take my explanation. So therefore, in my view, sir, in this case, you can select saying not the 7th proviso, otherwise, because it says, are you filing under 7th proviso or otherwise? You are not filing under 7th proviso. So you can confidently say, yes, I am not filing under 7th proviso, and you can proceed to file, sir. It is not saying it has to exceed the basic exemption. It is saying you are filing other than 7th proviso, so you can file the, so you can go ahead and do it in that, sir.
Sir, is there any provision which restricts the filing of return after the assessment year ends or now December 31st like that? The
Yes.
government is giving due dates. No? Is there any clear provision in the income tax?
Yeah, the law is clear, no, sir. Saying belated return up to so that. Yes. They have said that very clearly, but in my view, that should not be done, because in some cases, assessee, for whatever reason they may do, they may go for visa, they may take a afterthought to do some other travel, they may want to show for loan purposes. Everything within the basic exemption. They have not avoided tax. They have not evaded tax. Maybe they want to claim a refund. I'll tell you one case that is I'm handling now. One CA had referred to me, where in this assessee's case, assessee has been properly filing return of income every year. There was a compulsory acquisition of their land property in Chennai for the purposes of metro rail construction by the state government. So when they acquired, they have deducted the TDS, but they have not remitted it within time to government. Then after multiple representations, they remitted. But after remitting, they didn't file the quarterly return. So this assessee constantly kept putting pressure. This transaction happened in assessment year 16-17. So in 2021, sir, finally they filed the TDS return. They remitted it against the assessee's PAN number. While remitting it, they have selected assessment year 11-12. Transaction happened in 16-17. They are deducting in 2021. The year they have selected is 11-12. When you go to department is not able to help immediately. They're saying, oh, sir, we can go only maximum 2 years we can do. Beyond that, you have to take approval from here, approval from there. All kinds of things. But really speaking, the amount is several lakhs. I need that refund. I want to claim the refund. If that person puts the correct year, then I can go and take the refund. No problem. I can file belated return, whatever. He has put 11-12. How will I get the refund, sir? Everything I have to make a 264 application, or I have to go 119 to be allow me to file the return again. So these sort of issues are definitely there. That is why I have the view that return filing should not be restricted, but it is what it is. Sir, I request we will try to take the questions at the end, because that flow of the talk may get disturbed, Kumar sir. Because you asked these questions, I thought I would take it now. All participants, please feel free to put the questions in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to take up the question. I will not skip any question. Please put it in the chat box. I will ensure I take all the questions. So coming back to the presentation, the ITR forms. Now one of the most common questions that we get asked is, sir, why this new website, sir? Our old website was coming superbly. No, why they went 4,000 crore contract, all that. Now, the entire output of this website is to make the return easy to file for the taxpayer. That is what the government is trying to do. Basically, they are trying to say, don't go to any expert, don't go to professional, you file the return yourself. That is what the government is trying to do. And don't take my word for it, sir. You go to the home page, you go to the income tax home page. There is a tweet in the home page. There is a tweet in the home page of the income tax website saying, this website is superb. You can file the return of income yourselves. You don't have to go to a CA. They have put in the home web page. You don't have to go to a chartered accountant or any other professional. File the return yourself. This they are putting on the home page. And then they are coming to our ICAI saying, you pulled a task team, you come and tell us what are the mistakes on the website, we will correct it. And at the same time, in the same web page, the same government which is taking our CA help to make the website better is saying that don't go to a CA, don't go to a professional. Highly unfair. I, in fact, told very, very strongly that our institute has to represent, saying that tweet has to be taken down. When the government itself is coming to us for help, that shows that we are real stakeholders. We are representing assessees. That's the truth also. No taxpayer is going to file the return themselves. If they file, it will be wrong only. Department will levy penalty and they'll take the money. Number of cases which have come to us, simple salaried person, because they made a mistake while filing themselves or doing the free filing. Certain websites are there. I'll file the return for free. There's no such thing as a free lunch. We all heard that saying. But this is what certain websites are doing. Certain people are filing through that. Then they're getting notices, ITR form not submitted properly, not validated properly, acknowledgement not sent. All kinds of issues are there. So therefore, I don't know why they are doing it. But the object of this website, sir, is for enabling the taxpayer to file the return himself. I'll tell you why. Now you look at your screen over here. So after you log in, once you log into the website, you will have to fill in your login ID and your password. You log into the account of the assessee. Then you can pre-fill the data. So you select pre-fill option and you go inside. Once you go in, it will show you same basic information, all the PAN number, address, mobile number, all that you have to confirm. Once you confirm that, you can go ahead and select what are the incomes that you have. So in this case, you have selected salary income. So on the screen, you can see what are the salary exemption related options. So earlier in the old form, you have to select from the drop down box what is the relevant section when you are claiming any exemption, etc. In this form, they are putting it in a nice clean button, easy to understand manner. So now here, if you take, for example, you can see on the screen, are you eligible to claim exemption in respect of leave travel allowance or transfer or tour maintenance on the uniform? You have to select yes or no. Now they put the section below this. Under the old form, you used to have only the section. In few cases, you used to have the types of exemptions, but majority was covered only by the section. So no normal taxpayer will be able to understand what needs to be filled there. So it is a more technical point. So now what they're saying, we'll tell the name of it. We'll put the section also below, but we will tell you the name also. And if you hover around this I button they will explain what is the provision. So if you select yes, I am eligible to claim, then one box will open, how much LTA you can claim. So you have to fill that LTA option. Similarly, next they have any children education allowance, hostel allowance, house rent allowance, same boxes. They'll put questions like this. Do you have anything? Yes. If you have yes, then that box will open up, you'll fill it. So they are trying to make it simple, simplify it for the person to fill it themselves. So this is for exemptions. Like this, deductions also will come. Have you put in LIC? Have you made any LIC premium payment? Have you made any PPF payments? Do you have any ATD Mediclaim investments? You select yes or no. If you select yes, then you have to fill it. Earlier, only section used to be there. You will not know what is ATC, what is ATD, you don't know. So now they are giving very, very clearly what it is so that you can select if it's relevant to you, then only it will open. So they are trying to make it simple. Now, one more thing this year you will face for the first time is section 115 BAC. This is a new tax regime that they have brought about this year, alternative tax regime. For the first time, we are filing when this regime is in effect. So to jog the memory, earlier our existing tax slab is a 3-slab structure. This is a 7-slab structure where you have certain reduced rates of tax, but without any exemption or deduction. You cannot claim the exemptions or deductions. So that is the point that they are doing. So in these cases, my dear friends, certain additional things that you must do from your end. For every single case, ensure you calculate the tax under the new regime and the old regime and see which is more beneficial to the assessee. So based on what is more beneficial to him, you can file the return of income accordingly. So choose whatever form. Now that is for a non-business assessee, because a business assessee has this opportunity only once in a lifetime. If I switch to the new regime, only once I can switch back. I cannot keep on switching every year. So only once in a lifetime, I have an opportunity to change the regime. Whereas a non-business assessee, every year I can change. This year I want 115 years. Next year I can have old regime. Again, new regime, again, old regime. I can keep on changing. Nobody can stop me. So therefore, that is a benefit. So now what happened is certain smart assessees, what they said is, sir, I don't know what my future is be like. I have business income. Next year I can have loss. 2 years later I can have loss. I don't know. But this year for me, 115 BSc is more beneficial. So I will file under 115 BSc. So I'll select 115 BSc option. I'll file the return. Then next year, if somebody comes and asks me a question saying why you are claiming 115 BSc after you went back to regular slab rate, I will say, sir, that first year by mistake I selected, sir. That option I did not know, drop down box by mistake I selected 115 BSc. So like that, one button is only there. Are you filing under 115 BSc? Yes or no? If you select yes, then it will calculate as per the new tax regime. So some assessees, they thought they will say, sir, by mistake I pressed the button, sir. I wanted to press no only that time. But yes, I paid by mistake. I pressed by mistake. This year only I'm taking 115 BSc, sir. That year any differential tax I will pay now. Interest also I will pay, but it was a mistake. So in order to stop this, government have now brought a new form called Form 10IE. Please note, for all the cases which you are filing under the new regime, you have to file Form 10IE compulsorily. It is a form mandatorily you must fill and file. So Form 10IE, that is what it is called. It is there in the form section. If you go to file income tax form in the new website, you can see on the screen over here, it will be above the Form 35 called determination of tax in certain special cases, Form 10IE. This form, how it will look as you can see on the image on the right hand side. It is very, very basic. Nothing is there in this form actually. Everything is pre-filled. Details of assessing officer, basic information of assessee, PAN number, address, etc. Bank account details, IFSC code, and verification. Nothing you will think so silly. What is there in this? Why I have to fill this form at all? Anyway, all these details are filled in the income tax return. My dear friends, they are not doing this because it is easy, difficult. They want a separate declaration from you that you have voluntarily chosen this form, so that at a later date you do not come and say, sir, by mistake I selected, sir. 6 years later, when it's beneficial, you will say, no, only I need 115 BSc, sir. That time by mistake I chose it. So in order to stop people from doing that, they have mandatorily bought this Form 10IE. So now this Form 10IE has to be filed by everyone, not only business persons. Even for salaried assessees, even though you can change year on year, you must file this Form 10IE if you are going in this new tax regime. But the form itself is very, very simple. You don't have to worry about it. Next major change is capital gains. Now this, how many of you remember the old capital gains schedule, where it will start called Schedule 1, your long-term capital gains. It will start with short-term on equity shares, then all the way down it will come. It's a long page it will be. Loads of transactions it will be there. Finally, it will end with one quarterly breakup of your capital gains. And every time you file a return, even if you don't have capital gains, one error it will throw from the capital gains schedule. Somewhere in the middle, you have to go and select one drop-down box and choose not applicable. Why, I don't know. Actually, no capital gains, but because you are filing the form, somewhere it will be. So you will have to spend a lot of time to search where that error is and figure it out. So while we are professional, seasoned chartered accountants, we may be able to do this, but this even for CAs, it was challenging. So now what they have done is for the capital gain sheet, they've broken down all the assets like this. So I am selling any land or building. I am selling any equity shares under 111A. I am selling equity shares under 112A. Any other bonds or debentures, foreign assets, like that, they have broken it down into all the types of capital assets over here. So whichever capital asset you have sold, it's enough if you select that option only. So let us assume I have sold land and building. So then I will select land and building. Now in this case, I don't have to deal with filling 112A. I don't have to see what is the index cost. All those details I don't even have to bother looking at, because I have sold land and building. So I don't need to see the other information that will not come also. Similarly, if I'm selling only equity shares, I don't have to see what is the registration cost, 50C value, what is the 54F investment that I'm doing, reinvestment. All those details, if I see, I'll get confused. So what they have said, you select what you have sold. Only that we will show you. So if you have sold long-term shares, they will only show you the provisions pertaining to long-term capital shares. So this is a good development. It's not a major development, but it's a more simplicity, and I think that is appreciable. Now your income from other sources. This is the first year where your dividend is going to be taxable at a slab rate, my dear friends. Till 2 years back, dividend was fully exempt under section 1034 and 1035. Then they said up to 10 lakhs, dividend will be exempt. This year they abolished dividend distribution tax, and they have said your entire dividend will be taxable in the individual's hands at the slab rate. So you will also have 194 and 194K. You will see that in the 26 years this year. If you have not seen for assessees, it will start coming in your returns, where the mutual fund houses, the share companies who are listed, they are disclosing details, what dividend they have paid to you. It will come in your 26 years under 194 or 194K, it will be coming. So ensure the quarterly breakup you are putting correctly. So don't put everything in the last quarter thinking we can save on certain advance tax and interest, etc. The details is available with department, my dear friends. Ensure you put a proper quarterly breakup in this case. One other important point when it comes to house property is, till recently, your loss from house property can be set off against all other heads of income without any limitation. That's what it was till 2.5 years back. All losses from house property income, unlimited, you could set it off against other heads of income. Then 3 years back, they brought a limitation saying you can do it only up to rupees 2 lakhs. Unfortunately, what happened is, unfortunately, many assessees, they have planned their loans, 20-year loan, 30-year loan, etc. They have taken, thinking they can take the tax advantage because they'll be paying high interest rates on the borrowing. So huge interest amounts will be going there. So now, unfortunately, it is capped. Now, why I'm making this point out? If you have any carry forward of loss from house property, you are either carrying it forward or you're bringing it forward to adjust. In either scenario, you cannot file ITR1, my dear friends. If there's any carry forward or brought forward loss from house property, you cannot file ITR1 even if you meet all the other conditions. You must file either ITR2 or ITR3. Another point, another very, very interesting point. I told you, ITR1 is meant if you have only one house property. Now let us take a scenario where I have one house property and I'm co-owning it with my wife. My wife and I together, we owning one house property, 50% me, 50% her. Whether I have only one house property, yes. So technically ITR1 only I should file, but for that also they have said no. If there's any co-ownership, of a house, then you cannot file ITR1. You must file ITR2 or ITR3 only. You must disclose the details of whoever is the co-owner. Let the income tax also know who is the co-owner so that they will check in that person's name whether that person is filing or not. So look at how they are putting compliances this year. The compliance normally will be on you to disclose yourself. This year, they are getting information from other people saying you disclose about that person. I will find out. So that is the entire trend you would have seen from the first page onwards. Be it your savings bank interest income, be it your GST turnover, be it your dividend income, and now even for house property, co-ownership with your own wife, they want you to give the details of her. So this is how the income tax has started shifting the practice. The onus is now on the other party, not on the party who's earning the income. So if you have any co-ownership of the house, please note you have to file ITR2 or ITR3, even if you have no other income. Even if it is within 10 lakhs, even if it is within 5 lakhs, you are satisfying all the provisions of ITR1. If you have any co-ownership, please file ITR2, don't file ITR1, my dear friends. So remember, I told you, if you are a director, you cannot file ITR1. So these are the details they need if you are a director. If you are a director in the company, you have to put the details of name of the company, type of the company, what is the PAN number of the company, whether it's a listed or unlisted company, what is your director identification number, DIN number, all these details you have to fill. Similarly, if you are holding any unlisted equity shares, look at this: name of the company, type of the company, PAN, opening balance of shares, cost of acquisition, number of shares, what is the face value per the share, what share you have sold during the year, all kinds of details, which is sometimes it will be troublesome. These details the assessee itself won't have, but this is what the department is expecting. And if you don't, it may not have a bearing on your return. We all know that practically, but department will come and say, sir, I told you to file, you did not file, it's invalid. You please pay the penalty, and you go, you pay the interest. Now they've put that penalty, saying if you don't file within the due date, we'll put 5,000 rupees. If it's more than December, we'll put 10,000 rupees, all that. So happily, they will collect 5,000 rupees per person. So that is the reason they are bringing all these things. So please be careful, ensure you get the details. Now, as far as the director thing, some of you may be thinking, how will they find out, sir? I'm telling you, for my clients, I only do Google. I don't even have a paid software. I don't even have to pay for it. If you put that person's name, you're getting full details. For example, you just type in Google, you go and type and see Mukesh Ambani, Zoba Corp, like that you search. Whatever company Mukesh Ambani is a director will come. Any person like this, if you search, it is there for free on the internet, sir. It's one Google search away. So don't worry. Certain smart assessing officers, every assessee, they will Google search and check whether he is filed correctly or not. So just please ensure you also do the due diligence from your side. Now, the tax scheme options, of course, this year I already discussed that. Okay. Now, this is a very, very interesting point. Now, we all, how many of you have enjoyed filling that 112A schedule, which is there in the income tax return for capital gains? One new schedule is there, 112A, where you have to put what is the ISIN code, name of the share, what is the purchase price, what is the highest value as on 31st January 2018. Extremely irritating schedule, because sometimes ISIN code will not be available, sometimes it will not be correct. Where you will get 31st January 2018, you have to keep on searching for each share. And if your client happens to have traded in 100 shares during the year, then you are gone. You will be spending entire day on filling out the share details alone. So highly, frustrating schedule it was, this 112A, very cumbersome. And first year I had made a representation saying it's very, very difficult. You cannot, we are in the third year now. The first year I said it's extremely difficult. How can you ask us to fill the schedule? It's very difficult. So department also, they waited till the last minute, and finally they said, okay, fine. It is optional. It is not compulsory. If you want, you can fill. I don't know which person will want to fill it. If it is optional, anyone sensible will leave that 112A, because it's highly frustrating. So then we thought, okay, they'll be smart where they will not do it again. But last year again, that 112A schedule was there. Last year we went and told them again. We said, sir, no, you cannot put the schedule. It's very difficult and cumbersome. They again delayed for a long time. Then they came out with the announcement saying, yes, you need not fill if you are trading in the shares. So if you're an investor, you have to fill it. But if you're doing business of share trading, you need not fill 112A. I said, boss, what is this? If I'm trading in shares, 112A is not applicable. It's a business income. Why you are even bothering to make this? For this, you need not say anything. For saying that it is not, if you're trading in shares, you need not fill. But for investors, you have to fill. You are not given any relief. You are only making us more irritated by saying it. So last year, it was compulsory, my dear friends. Unfortunately, I don't know how many of you filled it. Some people, they filled a single line item. Some people just completely ignored it and they filled in another head. But it was very frustrating. It was there. So this is when I was meeting the finance ministry officials, I told them, why you are asking us to fill all this, sir? What if we fill wrong details? How are you going to find out? Why you have to saddle people? They said, sir, we have an agreement now. CBDT and SEBI have an agreement. So we can check what shares you have sold. So if you have not disclosed properly, we will issue a notice to you. I said, sir, if you have the information, you only pre-fill and give it to us. No, why you are putting the headache on us, asking us to pre-fill? You have the information, you pre-fill it. I will check whether it is correct or not. If it is wrong, means I will delete it. If it is, I have to add something, I will add that alone. You are saying you have the information. Why you are putting headache on me to pre-fill? So when I told this last year, they said, oh, excellent, wonderful suggestion, Abhishek. We will implement it this year. We will definitely do it. I was looking forward to this year, 112A, whether we have to fill or not. Unfortunately, my dear friends, that white blood, the same blood is there this year also. 112A last year, at least it was horizontal. So it would have been faster to fill. This year, it is vertical like this. And in fact, last year, in the Java form, if you put the ISIN code, that name of the share used to fill by itself. Now, if I put the ISIN code, the name of the share is not filling. I have to type it again. In this case, for example, the share, you see the ISIN code here on the screen. It is Reliance ISIN code. So I took the most popular share and I put it just to see whether that share at least gets filled, but that also is not getting filled. So you have to fill everything manually. Jokes apart though, one very, very important thing here to note, my dear friends, is for mutual funds. Now you take any share, you can find the ISIN code by Googling it. Yes, it will take you 5 minutes extra work for each share. You have to get the ISIN code, but you can do it by yourself. But mutual funds, many mutual funds, my dear friends, equity oriented mutual funds, the ISIN code is not public. It is not available publicly. So if you want to claim 112A or if you want to fill the schedule properly, you need that ISIN code. And to get that ISIN code, you have to ask your client has to ask his broker has to ask the mutual fund house, and they have to report back. Nobody has this information handy. But now this is the procedure that's going to be followed. Why it is important, I'll tell you, because people who come to you on the last date for filing, if they don't have the details available handily, you will not be able to file the schedule properly. So one tip I'll give you here, you can see at the bottom of the screen, I found out one ISIN code. You can fill saying ISIN not available. So you have to type whatever I put in quotes over here, INNOTAVAILAB. So if you put this, whatever I've put in quotes, you don't have to fill the ISIN code. Because without filling ISIN code, it will not allow you to proceed. If you just put a dummy number 000 like that, it will not allow you to proceed. You have to put a valid ISIN code. That is why the schedule is even more frustrating. If you don't put a valid ISIN code, it will not allow you to proceed at all. So instead, you can copy this. So people who are noting down, I will share the PPT. Please don't worry. My number will be there end of this presentation. You can feel free to message me. I will WhatsApp this PPT to you. but you can fill this ISIN code. If you fill it, you need not type the number. It will allow you to proceed without having to fill in the number. So INNOTAVAILAB. So that is what you have to fill in the ISIN code, my dear friends. Now, is it mandatory? I told you it is mandatory. Of course, foreign income, foreign assets details also has to be disclosed this year. Our Honorable Prime Minister has announced in a very, very grand announcement saying 26 years we will get all the details of your foreign income soon. So like how last year details of whatever savings bank interest came on the last date. If you have any foreign income, foreign assets, that may come on the last date. So just to be careful on that point. So this is a more important development, not necessarily with the return, but now the 26 years is going to be like a passport. And it has already started, my dear friends. So where you have any cash payment of bills, credit card bills exceeding rupees 1 lakh, you have deposited cash beyond 1 lakh in your bank account, or any FD shares, mutual funds beyond rupees 10 lakh you have purchased, any forex you have purchased, or forex you have paid through your card, you're traveling abroad and you're paid through your card, all of these transactions is now getting reflected in your 26 years. And it has already started, my dear friends. This is not the future. It is happening presently in the current 26 years itself. We are breaching these limits. It will come in your 26 years. For many people, CAs were calling me. They are asking, sir, I got, it's called a specified financial transaction. The information has come saying my client has deposited so much cash in the bank account. Where should I disclose? What should I do? So this is, you don't have to disclose. How you have to handle this? There's no separate disclosure. If it comes in your SFT, if it comes in your 26 years, that itself does not mean anything, my dear friends. It is just saying that department has this information about you. So ensure that your client has enough sources to explain it. If I have done a cash deposit of 3 crores rupees, if I have done a cash deposit of 3 crores rupees in the year, and my income from my returns is 2,50,000, something is wrong. Something is off. Either I should have inherited money, somebody should have gifted it to me, or so I should be able to explain the source. But the point is, earlier, there was no track by the department. They will not know that you have deposited unless your case is picked up for scrutiny. So therefore, now everything is getting reported to them. So please be careful. It is coming in the 26 years as a warning to you, saying we have this information. Ensure that you can explain the source. So if your assessee does not have the source, create the source, offer it to tax, pay the tax, or ensure you plan it accordingly if it gets reported, my dear friends. This is the future. In fact, this is what our Prime Minister is saying. Any education beyond 1 lakh you are paying for any education bill, that will come in your 26 years. Electricity beyond 1 lakh will come. Any foreign business class travel or domestic business class travel you have done, it will come in your 26 years. Any payment to your hotels, you're staying in a hotel, you're paying more than 20,000, that will come in your 26 years. Any health insurance you're paying beyond 20,000 will come in 26 years. So I don't know how long the 26 years will be, but the point is they are trying to bring compliance all kinds of way by putting pressure on other parties. Now they'll get the expense related information. They are not after your incomes anymore. They are not after the taxpayer income. They are going after the expenses, because they know if they find the expense, they will know whether they've shown the source or not. So that is why they are going for extensive, tedious compliances, my dear friends. So new website, a few critical points I'll discuss since we have some time. We will take the questions also after this. One thing is, when you log into the new website, my dear friends, if you are able to log in, there's a lot of challenges which are happening, but now logging in and all has become pretty smooth. It's not a problem how it was before. But once you log in, it asks you to update your profile. So it says that there a mismatch in your profile. Then it will show on percentage in the top left side. You have completed so much percentage of your profile, etc. Now, one major thing that is drawback that has happened in this website is, if that profile is not 90 to 100% complete, you will not be able to avail these facilities. Continuation request, registering as a representative, or representing and acting on somebody else's behalf. Highly stupid. I don't know why they brought this, but I'll tell you an example what is happening. One of my clients, his parents are no more. Both his parents are no more. And this assessee is the legal heir of them. He is representing them. And there were some notices issued to them. We have already registered in the old website, given the legal heirship certificate, death certificate, everything given, accepted, approved, And we have been responding as a legal heir, as a representative assessee for many years now. Now department have, after the website got fixed, they have started sending notices, e-proceedings. You have to respond within 15 days. If you don't respond in 15 days, we will take action against you. We will raise a penalty against you. Now in this assessee's case, my dear friends, he is a representative assessee, but I am not able to complete the profile. For whatever reason, it's not getting completed. And I am not able to log in as a representative assessee. I am only able to see his name. If I go and see registered as representative, it is showing he is the legal heir of this person and this person, of X and Y. He is the legal heir. I want to try to log in as X and Y. It is not allowing me. But department sending notices, demand notice. We have sent you 3 notices. You have not responded. 4th notice, final opportunity. How I will respond? You are not enabled that functionality. But notices alone you are sending. My dear friends, huge issue this is. Please ensure you raise a grievance. One thing I'm going to tell you about the new website. Don't think you are facing the issue. It is a common issue. It will get resolved till then, no problem. The moment you face any issue on this new website, my dear friends, immediately raise a grievance. Raise the grievance, put it on record. Put it on record that you have raised this issue. I'll tell you why. Because in this, ideally speaking, any transparent, functioning website developer or the department itself, what they should be doing every day when a new thing is introduced in the website, they should make an announcement on either Twitter or on the income tax website saying we are introducing Form 10A today. Form 35 is active from today. These are all the errors that we have fixed today, so you can use it. But anywhere it comes, nowhere it comes, you have to log in, you have to keep checking every day whether Vivad Se Vishwas has come, whether 35 has come, whether Form 10A has come. Suddenly one day you will find it there, so you will put in WhatsApp, Form 10A available. Then we will all be circulating in WhatsApp group saying it has come, it has come, it has come. Whether it is working, nobody knows, but it has come, we would send. This neither the department is also doing, neither the Infosys is also doing. So very, very poor management. So the reason I am telling you this is because any issue you face, you raise a grievance, because you cannot keep checking every functionality every day, sir. You will have 100 clients, you will have 200 clients, you will have personal things, you will have other work also at office. So whether you are going to check whether functionality is enabled every day, nobody is announcing. So you have to go manually check. So the day you are trying and it does not work and you're not able to complete any functionality, you're not able to respond to a notice, you're not able to file the return, you're not able to file 10A form, some issue is there, immediately take a screenshot, raise the grievance, print the grievance, put it in your file. So at a later date, if they say, we had enabled next day, sir, you see the date from the next date was enabled. You may not be aware. 15 days you may have finished and nobody was told about it. In these cases, where is your proof? They'll say you had 15 days time, you only didn't do. So you raise the grievance and you say that I have the proof that it was not available. You should have told me it has been fixed. Nobody is responding to grievances today. At least earlier, if you raised a grievance, your assessing officer will call saying, why you raised a grievance, sir? I will fix it for you, something they'll do. Today, grievance comes, it is like a paper document only. You raise it, that's all. They also don't care. Department doesn't care, Infosys doesn't care, we also don't care, client also doesn't care. But it is a record proof that you have faced an issue and you're not able to do it. So please ensure that you raise the grievance, my dear friends. Okay, I think sir had wanted me to touch upon this income tax form because Form 10A is available, sir. So from 3 or 4 days back, Form 10A has been now enabled. So it is finally available. So, a lot of efforts we have been trying, saying that last day it's almost there around the corner. Please give me 10 years, sir. So after a lot of requests, they have finally enabled it. So is it working fine? I'm happy to say that Form 10A is functioning reasonably well now. So this is what the Form 10A looks like, my dear friends. So you have to go in. If you have filled a form under the old website, it is not going to carry forward. You have to fill it again. So if you had filled a Form 12A and all, that is showing some other thing. So you have to ensure you fill a fresh Form 10A. So select Form 10A, go to View Forms, File New Forms, and go and select Form 10A over here. So when you select Form 10A, this is what it looks like. These are the details that it asks from you. So you have to sit one by one and fill all of them. So it's more or less similar to what it was before, but couple of interesting things are that you have to be careful about, media friends. The first thing is you have to select each tab. Once you select a tab, once you have completed with it, it will get confirmed. One green tick will come here, and then you can proceed to the future tabs. So now let us go to the first tab, Incorporation Constitution Details. So this is what it comes in the next page when you select the incorporation details. It will show your PAN name and address over here. And then it will say select the section code. Now this point is a little interesting because the section code, for whatever reason, earlier I showed you that salary return. It is showing in detail what is the name of the section, what is a leave travel allowance, what is HRA. But when it comes to trust, they are not being like that. They are just putting the section, subsection 1AC or section 12A. That is what they are putting. So I don't know what is. Each time I have to go and check what that provision is. So just to be sure that you're filling the right form, because this form doesn't get saved. If you don't file it, you have to sit and fill it again, my dear friends. So you have to go and check the right section. Where you have to check the section, it's here. It is there in a CBDT notification, but I have put it in this presentation over here, my dear friends, so that it will be easier for you to go and select it. So I have put in the second column that you can see over here, that is the option. That is the serial number. When you select this drop down box here in section code, it will be serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that it will come. Up to 49 it will go. So here I have put the breakup. If you are registering in whichever column, you look at the section, what is the type of registration, I put the breakup over here. Based on that, I put what is the code also here. You select the respective code and you can go ahead and do the registration under that specific section, my dear friends. Now, normally, if you are doing a new registration, fresh registration, or rather you're doing a registration of a company that is already existing. It is already existing. You're just applying now for complying with the new law saying mandatory registration should be done. So then you select serial number 1. So let us assume we are selecting that serial number 1, my dear friends. The first thing it is going to ask, you have to fill in the details of who are the trustees, who are the author of the trust, what is the address, all the details, usual things you have to fill. Then it is going to ask you a question. Has the return of income filed for the last assessment year before the due date has been expired? So you have to click yes. There is no option. If it is an existing company, my dear friends, existing registration is there, then this no option will not be enabled. Only yes option will be there. So ensure you select that yes and you go ahead with it. Suppose you select no, that is it's a new company. Then when you select no, it will give you the breakup of assets and liabilities details which you have to fill over here. So ensure that you fill that correctly. Now, of course, this is the current issue that I'm facing today. I did not face this issue a few days back. Today, when I'm filling the details or the verification and I'm clicking save, it is not getting saved. I don't know why it is not getting saved. It is not getting saved currently. So maybe by tonight it will get fixed. I don't know. If I try again in 2 hours, it may be working. It may be working even now. But just before the session, 15 minutes before the session, I was trying to ensure that I'm giving the latest update. It was not working when I tried then. So just ensure whatever details you fill are correct and click save, it will get saved. Now, this is the other point, important point when it comes to the trust registration. More or less straightforward. There is no major change when it comes to how you're registering trust compared to the old form. Except now, these are the specific attachment it asks for you. So if you are doing a new registration, fresh registration, never been registered before, it will specify what are the attachments you need to give. If it is just a mere re-registration you are doing, these are the attachments you have to do. And please note one interesting thing is that normally we used to give something known as an activity report. Whenever we are filing for a trust, we used to give something known as an activity report that we ourselves will prepare. These are the trusts, these are what they are doing, etc. Now it is not asking for the activity report. The current attachments do not ask for the activity report. Instead, what any other documents you want to upload, there will be one final box here below. Please ensure you attach the activity report there. Don't forget it. Ensure you attach the activity report there. Any annual accounts are there, you can attach that also over there. So ensure you do it without fail, my dear friends. That is the only major change when it comes to 10A. There's no significant change. The form is going smoothly, so you can start to try to file now. You can go ahead with the filing of Form 10A. Any difficulty you have, members, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to guide on that. Of course, now compliance check has also been enabled, my dear friends. You can go ahead. 194Q is there, 206, is A, B, and 206 CCA. These are the new provisions they have introduced, where you have to deduct tax at a higher rate if the person has TDS of 50,000 or more, or has not filed the return of income for the last 2 years. They brought this new provision, and very, very difficult provision it was, because a lot of companies, they started asking, give me your returns, give me your 26 years. People were afraid to give. They said it has my personal information. It is confidential. I don't want to give. They said if you are not giving, we'll deduct at the higher rate. They're saying, sir, we have already filed. How else? We'll give a declaration. So a lot of issues came up. So government came up with a compliance check. And this is already enabled, my dear friends. Ensure you go to the current income tax website itself. You log in with the TAN number. T for Taylor. You have to log in with the TAN number, not your PAN number. Log in with the TAN number. Fill in all the details. It will ask you who's the reporting person of the company, all that it will ask. Fill the details of them, submit it, and then you can go to pending actions. You will have something known as a compliance check. So you select compliance check and you can check whether that other party you are transacting with, whether he has filed the returns for the last 2 years, if it is more than 50,000 or not. So this is what the screen looks like. You have to fill the PAN number, you put the CAPTCHA code and you put search. You will get the details of the person. You get the name of the person, when was the PAN allotted, whether PAN Aadhaar is linked, and whether he's a specified person, yes or no. If it says specified person, yes, that means he has not complied with the provisions. You have to deduct the TDS at a higher rate. If it says specified person, no, then please take a printout of the sheet for the next financial year. Till the end of the financial year, you don't have to check again for that person. Keep that as the proof. You can deduct tax at the regular specified rate of the provisions of TDS. You don't have to deduct at a higher rate. Suppose it's a specified person, yes, then that transaction you have to deduct at a higher rate of TDS. Not only that, you must also ensure every time you transact with that person, you have to check whether he's become a specified person or whether he is no longer a specified person. So each time you transact, you have to check it. Of course, bulk search facility is also there. Since 2-3 persons have asked me the question, you can do a bulk search also. Excel document you can upload and you can check for all of them together. Okay, so e-proceeding has also been enabled now. So you can submit your responses to your e-proceedings and it's going smoothly. But a couple of issues are there. In the sense earlier under the old website, you can submit multiple responses to the same notice. You could do it to multiple attachments. In the current one, you can submit only once. So if you make a mistake, you cannot revise it. You cannot make a new submission. So be very, very careful when you're submitting. Ensure that you're submitting, in after giving due thought and you've filled whatever you want to fill as a response, and then only you submit it. Okay, some login issues are there. When you log in, these sort of errors come. I don't know how many of you have faced this, but a lot of trial and error was involved in figuring it out. It will take all this helpline number, nobody answers in that helpline. And if you reach also and you tell them this is not working, they are saying there are a lot of problems and they are cutting the call. So we know there are a lot of problems, but they have to help us. That is why it is asking us to contact them. But if you face this, I can give you one suggestion. It is likely because you're logging in for a company, HUF, partnership firm, etc. You must ensure that all the partners, all the managing director, whoever is signing it, whoever is verifying that person, that entity, that person is also registered on the income tax website. If he is not registered for whatever reason, it is not allowing. So earlier it used to allow. Now it is saying that person also must be registered. Then only you can file the return or you can log in itself. So that is what this error is. So a lot of trial and error involved in us figuring this out, but this is what it means. So of course, there may be other variables also. So far, this is the only variable we have discovered. Of course, last few days, when you're trying to log in for individual, it is logging into the HUF and all. I don't know how many of you have faced this problem, where you tried logging in the last 3-4 days. When you log in, it is going to HUF account. It is not going to that individual account. So all kinds of funny things are happening on this website. And our beloved website developer has told within 7th of August, they will fix it. If they fix by 7th of August, I'll be really, really impressed with the kind of problems that are there. Okay, one other issue which is there. So it's just an issue which is there. The new digital signature software, it's working fine. It's a nice software actually. But one major problem is under the old website, you could sign the document remotely. So many of you here in the participants know, because you refer a lot of appeal cases to me. When I file the appeal cases, normally you are the assessee is in one place. You are the auditor. You are in Ongole. I am the chartered accountant. I am in Chennai, who is doing the appeal case for you. And how will we transfer the digital signature? Every time will you be couriering it? So what you used to do in the old thing, whatever document is there, I will fill it up. I will send it to you. You will apply the signature and you will send the document back to me, or you will send it to the client, he'll apply it and he will send it to you, you will send it to me, and I will upload it and I will file the appeal, and whenever there's any notice, I will take care of it similar manner. Now, however, they are saying digital signature has to be in your hand, then only you can file. So very silly. I don't know why they brought this out. So every time you are filing, I have to have the digital signature in my hand. So each time you must ensure that you send it across to me. So if I'm doing your case, you have to courier it to me. I'll courier it back to you. Then when your client asks saying I have to file something else, you have to courier it to. Then once again, he will courier it to you for your GST return. I don't know what thought process has gone into this, but this is what they have done currently. So the DSC is a really a big issue. And in fact, I saw somebody had put a question also saying DSC, how do we, in some cases, we are not able to register the DSC at all. Sir, there's some big issue. If it's an individual, you go to the profile, there's a registered DSC option. If you go for a company or any other representative associate, there's no registered DSC. For whatever reason, it is there, but they have hidden it in that secret vault, that high security vault. One option will be there, where if you click on that high security vault, you can put extra code 2 or 3 times. You have to log in to go inside the income tax website. Inside that, they have put registered DSC. Why they have put, don't ask me, but it is there. So if you are not able to register DSC, that is my solution, my dear friends. Go to my profile, go to the high security vault. There will be one option button called high security vault on the left side. You click that button. Once you go to that page, you will have a register DSC option. So you can register with the DSC there. But if you do that, if you register the DSC there, my dear friends, every time you log in, you have to log in with the DSC. If you put PAN and password, it is not enough. If you register the DSC there, it is saying every time you log in, you have to put the DSC. So a lot of these issues are there, all small issues like this, but it'll a lot of irritating issues, very impractical. But this is definitely some of the major challenges which are there in the website. Of course, as you're all aware, if there's any other issue that you have, I please request you do raise it with me. I'm in regular touch with the person who's heading it from the department side, both for CPC and the principal CC who is heading the systems. And we are making regular representation. Of course, the ICA also has a task force that's doing a formal thing with CBDT, but informally we are making representations, and that has proved to be faster and more effective in resolving it and getting it fixed. So if any of you are facing any unique issue, larger issues, yes, we are aware, Form 35 is not working, 10A some issues there, ATG some issues are this and all, we are aware. But any other certain specific issues you are facing, for example, one of the chartered accountants who contacted me, he told me this issue is facing for his really old clients who got their PAN number more than 30 years back. Most of the PAN numbers were registered with the first name only. It did not have a last name at that time. So when this person is filing the return now, whenever when it goes to the verification column, he is saying over there in the verification column page, it is saying that assessee must compulsorily have a last name. He is saying, sir, PAN was registered 30 years back. I don't register then with the last name. Whatever that person in the income tax department filled, I accepted. Now they're saying last name should be there. What should I do? Because we all know if you go and apply for change in PAN, it will take you minimum almost 7 to 10 days or 2 weeks time it will take. Suppose you want to file the return, where you will wait for 2 weeks, sir. You cannot even file the return. So these are lot of practical issues that certain people are facing. So if you have any such issue, please share it with me. I can raise it immediately with them. So with this, we have reached the end of the presentation. So thank you so much for a very patient hearing. Thank you to the organizers for inviting me. Chairman, sir, should I just take the questions?
Before going for the chat box questions, a few announcements, sir.
Yes.
Coming Sunday, that is on 8th August 2021, we are going to conduct quiz program and allocation competition for the CA students. The invitation will be posted in the Happy CA group and Ongole branch CA group. Please share that invitation to all your article students, whether in office or not. Please make the Ongole branch event a more successful and memorable one. And one more thing, our Zoom capacity is limited to 100. Hence, I request all the members to join our programs as early as possible so that you will not be disappointed. And we'll be sharing the attendance link in the last 15 minutes of the program. So please fill the Google form to get the attendance. Sir Abhishek, sir, now you can continue, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you. I'll take the questions now. In our office, we take a declaration signed by the client that all his bank accounts details are disclosed correctly. Okay. I think this is regard the savings bank interest. Declaration is a good idea. If you are uncomfortable with the client, you think he'll create issues later on, better to do it. Suppose if I let out my commercial building and the electricity charges normally incurred by the tenant, but electricity bills are in the name of the owner, how will department consider? Excellent question, Gopi sir. This is a very practical issue. Please note this. For example, the reason department brought this itself is because of this. Now you take those persons, I gave you an example of a business at the end of your road. Small potikada, it will be a rather very, very small shop, but you're doing large amounts of business, heavy transactions they are doing. Now this person, no PAN number, no bank account also, no registration, nothing, no GST, nothing. But this person is doing business. But naturally, he is not the owner of that space. Somebody has let it out to him. If somebody has let it out to him, he is entered into agreement with them, so he is paying that person rent. But whether that person is offering that rent to department, we don't know. But for the entire day, electricity is running there. Whether this fellow is filing the return, whether he's registered PAN, GST, nothing, he is still running the shop. So electricity is there, no? So electricity bill easily will cross 1 lakh for him throughout the year. So then department will come to the owner. Whoever is the owner, he'll come and he'll ask, sir, you have paid so much electricity bill. Have you filed the return? You will say, yes, I have filed. What happened? This house, why you have so much electricity bill? They can issue a notice to find out. And then you can explain, saying some business is there. So then he'll ask why you have not disclosed the business. Then you will say, sir, actually it is not my business. Somebody else is doing the business. Then he'll say, give the details about that person. And then he will go and attack that person. So please note, as far as department is concerned, they are going to get the details only from your electricity board. And as per the electricity board, whoever is the owner only will be the person paying the electricity as per their record. So all the notices will come to the owner only. So if you are letting out the commercial building, question will come to you. Then you have to redirect them. Go to this person, go to that person. If you are filing a return of income under ITR 2 or ITR 3, you would have already disclosed details of the tenant over there. And if TDS is deducted, then you would have disclosed his TAN number or either his PAN number over there. So they'll straight away know it is some other party. This will come only in cases where you have not disclosed details of a tenant. G.Bala sir has asked, electricity being spent by tenant, but electricity connection be owner name. Who shall file the return? Okay, same thing. Same question, Bala sir. It will come to the owner only unless you have disclosed the details of the tenant in your return. Here, Rajesh, in your opinion, notice of reassessment issued as per old regime after 31st March, whether valid? Rajesh sir, this is a big issue currently. It's a big issue going on. It's happening in Bombay High Court, in fact, where the issue is that new law takes effect from 1st of April. So even if you have extended the timelines, the law that applies on notices after 1st of April, even if you can issue the notice after that, has to be as per the current law. Because whatever is in effect in 1st April only should apply. But they've all issued the notices without giving show cause notice. Under the new reopening rules, first a show cause notice has to be issued, then only a notice for reopening can be issued. But whether any of you have got show cause notice and none of you have got, all of you have got straight away notice under section 148. So what should you do in this case? Raise an issue. Please ensure you raise an issue saying it is not in line with the law, but at the same time, you also comply with it. Don't simply say not in line with the law and leave it off. Because the discussion today, Bombay High Court may rule in favor of the assessee, but government is going to bring out an ordinance now saying that it is valid for old returns also. In fact, I think it will be announced any day now, the new ordinance. So it is affected, it's expected any time now. So they'll bring an ordinance saying it is valid. So if they do that and you have not responded to the notice, then you will suffer. So to protect yourself, you respond to the notice by complying with the notice, filing a return, but at the same time, you also put a letter saying that it is not in line with the law. So you have done both parts. So a later stage in appeal also, you can raise it if you want. CA Surya, 234F has been levied from today. The due date filing is extended. Sir, what can I do? This is what they are functioning. Really, can you all tell me whether interest under 234A after 31st of July is fair? They are saying if demand is more than rupees 1 lakh, you will still put the interest on 234A. Highly unfair, because due date of filing when it's some other date, your extended date, how can you levy interest up to that date? I am filing return within the due date. How can you levy extra interest on me after 31st of July when the due date of filing is there? All these kind of horrible things are happening, sir. I think I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that it has not been taken up more seriously, because it's highly unfair, and this is what is happening. So regarding this 234F, they have not yet updated the utility. Being Sunday, maybe they're taking rest. So tomorrow, maybe it will come, sir. See, Mohammed, filed return as per the return. Filed the return as per the return. I am eligible for a refund after filing. Doctor, okay, fine. I understood sir's issue. So what sir is saying is, today when you are filing the return, and this happened to me also, we filed a return for an associate. Happens to be a salaried person. He's getting a refund of 20,000. So everything filled, everything we checked before filing, we double checked, triple checked, everything we have done. We have three levels of checking, all three levels done in our office, and then return filed saying refund of some 15,000, 20,000 due to us. After filing the return, when you printed the acknowledgement, first of all, please note, my dear friends, if you file the return, there will be one option called download form. After filing the return, there will be one option called download form on the left-hand side. Please ensure you click that and you download the form, because if you don't click it and you press proceed, no proof you have that you have filed the return. If you go to the website, it is not showing the return. If you go and search for acknowledgement, you can't find it. It is not even showing that the return has been filed. So you will not have any proof that you have filed the return. Ensure after you file it, you click the button called download form. It will not be in a bright color. It will be in a very dull color. It will be on the left-hand side. Your eye naturally will not go there. It will go to proceed only. Just by force your eyes to go to the download form and download it and take it as proof. So next thing, after my suggestion, after focusing very, very clearly, you have clicked the download form button, you have downloaded it. So what Mohammed is saying is, after you press this download form, when you are getting the acknowledgement, for whatever reason, don't ask me why. Whenever payable is there, it is showing correctly payable. So it will say it is a defective return, you must rectify, etc. But if there is refund due, it is showing refund as 0. That box itself is blank. It is not showing refund is refundable to the associate. It is showing rupee blank. So why it is there? Once again, I don't know. This is all magic, sir. It is all in God's hands only. All this. This seems like a very, very obvious error to me. So they need to fix it. But the shocking thing is, once you file a return now, there's no proof for you. Tomorrow they'll come and say you did not file. How will you defend yourself? So ensure you download that form whatever way you can, so that you can fight this issue at a later date. Say Sanjeev Kumar, an associate is a salaried person, pension, salary, interest, submitting ITR form 1 throughout the years. This year, one mutual fund has been sold, and he's on, sir, can you file ITR 1? No, sir, you cannot, sir. You must file ITR 2 only. If you have any share transaction, mutual funds, no matter whatever small amount it is, even if it is a loss, you must file ITR 2 only. You cannot file ITR 1. Mohammed, I filed a return, but not able to download acknowledgement. As I told you, I already covered this issue. I preempted that somebody will ask this question. So you cannot do anything, sir. You can pray to God and hope that it will come by tomorrow. Chairman has asked, can we file ITR form without form 10? You can file the form. You can file ITR without the form 10IE, and then you can file the form 10IE after that. But if you don't do it, they will treat if you don't file form 10IE, they will not give you the new regime benefit. They will go only as per the old regime. So this form 10IE, you can file it either before your return or after the return also. So you have that option. There's no time saying that you must file it before, etc. Sir, if associate has more than 2 or more bank accounts, should all be disclosed? Yes, Padniappan, sir, it must be disclosed, because if you don't disclose it, that bank is disclosing to department, and you will get the compliance notice, and then associate will come and tell you, he'll blame you. Why you didn't ask, he'll come and ask you. So ensure that you disclose all the bank accounts. If it is not dormant, you must disclose this all. Srinivas Murthy, if dividend warrant is not encashed, what are the implications? Sir, if the warrant, you can follow a cash system of accounting, then in that case, you will disclose it whenever you are encashing it. But department may have the TDS details which have been furnished by the other party. So if they have given the details that your PAN number, your name, dividend is given, naturally you must either carry it forward or ensure that you offer it to tax in that year. So the option is yours, but you must ensure you disclose it somewhere. Form 89(1) relief, I am unable to file form 10E because it is not working. how to file. Shall I file the return now and 10E? You can do that. You can file the return now and file 10E at a later date also if you want. But please raise a grievance. I am requesting all of you, when you have issues like this, these are not common issues, because 89 relief, maybe I think 2% of the total number of filers will be claiming. So not many people would have tried by now. So since you have tried, it's a unique issue. Raise the grievance, ensure that you raise the grievance, put it on record, print it and keep the grievance in your file. So far we are used to getting parties to sign on the memo P&L balance sheet. Is it advisable to get the party to sign on the ITR form? Sir, I always get it signed from the party on ITR form also. I request you get it done. It is better to have that proof. It's not that oh, you're protecting for everything, you're taking extra care. It is not that. It is for the assessee also to know that everything is done with his concurrence, so that later they don't come back. Today, with the way the notices are being issued, and I can tell you the number of faceless appeals, faceless assessment cases that I'm handling. So many chartered accountants across the country refer to the cases. Everything is so unique. All trivial issues. You will think how they are raising this issue, but very, very harsh orders are being passed today on very trivial issues. And straight away penalty notice is coming, my dear friends. In my view, just better to get it signed so that later the client does not feel that you have not done something. You know, one CA was telling me that one of his clients got in touch with him in June, first week, to file the return. So he has told that we cannot file because website is down. And client asked again in second week of June. He said website is still down. The client called last week, it seems. He said, I'm changing my auditor. You have not filed the return. I've been following up 3-4 times with you. So I'm going to change the auditor. He said, sir, form is not notified. I cannot do anything about it. He said, no, you are. I am getting notices saying I have not filed. I'm getting this, I'm getting that. What do you want me to do? He said, sir, you go to any CA, this is what they are going to tell you. But the fact is, from the client side, there is ignorance. Even though it is coming in the paper every day, saying website issues, all that is there. Even though you are telling them as a chartered accountant, this is what the CA said. He said, this is how they're talking to me, sir. I've been his auditor for almost 15 years. And that fellow is saying he'll change the auditor when I'm saying form is not available. So these are the things which are practical difficulties. Clients sometimes will come and blame you. If you want to protect yourself, better you get it signed. As a practice itself, we get the ITR form filed and we get it signed from the assessee. We give them also the copy which they have signed on. So you can do that, sir, definitely.
We are sharing the news article to the clients, sir, because some of the clients are calling and requesting us to file from the past 2-3 months. Sir.
Yes.
So instead of postponing the things, the latest article, we are simply sending him.
Yes, that is a good thing to do, sir, because when that CA told me that, I felt bad. 15 years he has been the auditor and that client is not believing him. So it's a very sad state of affairs when it is there. So department needs to do more in speeding up the website, but the clients also need to understand that the auditors have their best interest in their hands. Balakrishnan sir has said, sir, whether wound up unlisted company shares to be reported. Sir, unfortunately, the wording as per the form says that have you held any unlisted equity? They're not saying have you transacted in unlisted equity shares. The wording as per the form is have you held any unlisted equity shares during the year? Then you must report the same. So whether it was listed, now it is unlisted, no difference. If it is unlisted and you're holding during the year, you must disclose the details. So please repeat the ISIN code. What code we have to fill? Okay, let me just, I will put that in the chat box because I saw many people were noting it also when I was speaking it. I'll put it in the chat. Anyway, my presentation I'm sharing, sir. If you saw the screen, my WhatsApp number, mobile number is there. I will share it in that. I'm just putting it in the chat box for everyone's benefit. So that is the ISIN code that you can use. Where did I leave off? Okay, I have drawn rupees 10 lakhs from different savings bank accounts for some medical emergencies. And as a necessity, it didn't arise. Deposited back into the respective accounts. Form 26AS may reflect the drawals, even though there is no income, only amount drawn is deposited. How to deal with such transactions? Vinod sir, is very straightforward. It's only information. It is not an issue per se. that you have done this transaction. It will just reflect it as an information, just a mere communication. As long as you have the documentation to prove, your bank statement will show the withdrawal, it will show the deposit, you're fine. Don't worry.
Sir, there
If
will
any
be an
notice
issue.
comes in,
Sir, there will
yes,
be an issue, sir. So
yes.
department may check what is the denomination he has drawn and what is the denomination he has deposited. And then they come out that the same, it is not the same money, it is a different money. So the 10 lakhs was withdrawn and 10 lakhs is the income for you.
Kumar sir, I'll give you interesting, since you made this point. I'll tell you one case which I handled at the ITAT. So this happened in one assessee's case pertaining to this reinvestment under 54F. So assessee is, what happened is the assessee was a owner of a property which they sold that property because his daughter got into Harvard school. She got an MBA, so several crores he had to pay. So he sold that property, and in January he paid for his daughter's fees. And then before the due date of filing the return of income itself, he reinvested from his business. He made the money, so he reinvested whatever needs to be reinvested. He claimed the 54F. So this case, they disallowed it, and it came all the way up to the ITAT, where basically they said, whether the assessee has deposited the same money. I said, nowhere it says you must deposit the same money. As long as you have reinvested whatever needs to capital gains, it's happy. They said, no, the purpose of whatever you have sold, that sale consideration only you need to reinvest. Whatever you sold, you use it for your daughter's education. You did not use it for reinvestment. Reinvestment you used to some other income. So therefore you cannot claim. So at ITAT, I argued saying the color of money is the same. The color of money is the same, because I gave this example and I said, and they appreciated, the judge also appreciated. I said, sir, the provisions that we are talking about came about at a time when cash transactions were normal. This 269 ST and also recent development only. 10 years back, you could buy a property also for 1 crore in cash. There was no restriction. So therefore, this time, if I'm selling one property, I'm getting money, I'm putting that money in my locker, and then tomorrow I want to go and reinvest in another property. You are saying that the exact same bundle I need to remove from the locker. You're saying that I cannot remove some other bundle. If I remove some other bundle, you'll say it is not the same money. You received some other bundle. That's what you are saying. So color of money is the same. So they cannot see a denomination and all that. Tomorrow I can convert the denomination. I get 10 rupees notes. I can take 2000 rupee and get a 10 rupee note. So how can they come and say that it is not the same? So that in my view, it is something which you can. I think it's a good point that you are raising, Kumar sir. But definitely, it's a case in favor of the assessee. You can fight it out. So it's not an issue. Sir, I was able to raise a grievance a week back, but it is not yet addressed. Surya sir, if you are getting a grievance addressed, means you must be Ambani. So don't worry, we are all in the same boat only today. No grievance is getting answered today. Also available in instructions to file the form manually. I didn't understand that point, Rajesh sir. But if it is the instructions that I was sharing in my presentation, you can just leave me a message. I will share it with you. Not a problem.
Form 10A, sir. Form
10A. Yes. I will share that. Sir. Maheshwaran sir. Sir, one of my clients received 12A registration today after filing Form 10A in old website. Should I refile? No, sir. If you have got the certificate, be happy. You don't need to file again. Indraja said, sir, I tried to contact IT department over the phone regarding an issue. It is asking me to enter a 4-digit number in PAN after the date of birth. I have entered PAN as per PAN only 3 times, but it answered as invalid data. And call has been disconnected. Is there any solution? Indraja ma'am, I'm not sure specifically related to what this issue is. You can just send me a message more detailed with it, and you can take a screenshot. I will raise this issue because I don't know with reference to what this issue is. Whether it is for generation of new PAN, whether it is while filing TDS. I don't know what is this issue with relevance to. You can just take a screenshot and send it to me. I'll be more than happy to raise this with the Finance Ministry. Sir, if I have both 12A and 80G registration, which section code should I use? Should I file separately? You can file separately, sir, because it depends on the drop-down box. As I told you, I have given that coverage over there. If it is covered in both, in the single drop-down option, you can fill it once enough. But if it is 2 separate things is not getting covered, you can fill separately, sir, not issue. One is for getting the revalidation of your trust. One is for revalidation of 80G. So you can do it twice if you want to be sure, just in case. Anjani Devi, we are unable to save Form 35. Every time we log in, we have to fill in all the details. Yes, madam, unfortunately, it's a big issue currently. Almost a majority of the forms, we are not able to save it and do it. So every time we have to fill. This Form 10A that I was filling, I had a headache because I sat and filled it entirely up to the end. And then finally, when I was trying to save the verification stage, it was not getting saved. When I went back, it timed out. And when I came back, I had to sit and fill the entire thing again. So it's a big headache, and I hope they fix it. Very, very basic things. Rajeshwari, is it necessary for all trustee names to be given in Form 12A? It's up to you, ma'am. I would say disclosing is better than not disclosing. So it's better you show so that later they don't reject saying you did not disclose everything. So better you disclose it. NV Bhaskar, Form 35 BSR code. It is not accepting grievance raised for this. I think, yes, this is a issue, Bhaskar Rao, sir. For example, I think one person was telling me Bank of Baroda, they have a unique IFSC code. It will not come in the normal number format. Alphabets will come. B, B, D, like that, or something will come in between. So they're saying it is not accepting alphabet at all in BSR code when they are trying. So beyond a certain point. So he says it's a big issue that they are facing. There is an issue currently on that. We have already raised this, sir. So it should be resolved in the next 1 week. When associate has more than 50 lakhs income without business income, what about assets and liabilities? Is there any changes? No, we have to still disclose details of assets and liabilities. No changes there. In ITR 2, it will come. Due dates are being extended, and IT website is not ready. At the end, department is telling that the due date is extended several times, and now it cannot be further extended. I don't think they have said no, sir. The department will not extend the further date. For them, they'll be shooting themselves in the foot if they say that no. With the website not working functionally properly, very, very risky for them politically to say it is we will not extend the due dates. Because in my view, the 234 interest due date itself should have been extended. ITR 3 cases, I cannot file the return. Even if I want to file, I cannot file. They will say that only income tax website is not working. Your payment of tax website is working. Why you didn't pay, they will say. I'm sure that is what department will say. But the fact of the matter is they cannot say that they will not extend the dates. As it stands, already time is very, very limited. So in my view, extension is something which will definitely come if the website is still continues to be like this.
Sir, without asking now, they are extending, but they have to see how many days are available for the professional for the last extension. If the number of days are less, if they are denied to extend it, then all clients and auditors will be in problem.
I completely agree, sir. I think this is where our Central Council members should be stepping in, because the representations that is going on with the CBDT, we are helping them so much now. It should go out very, very clearly that there are certain practices there which cannot be followed. We've already, date has got, we are already in August as well. When they started the website work, June 1st, we are in August 1st today, and we are not able to do basic functions on the income tax website. And yet the same website is saying you don't go to a professional. I don't understand all this. The representations have to be very, very clear in my view. I think it's not been effective because there is definitely a need to please the government more than, please the CAs, I feel. But definitely, I strongly feel dates must be expended. Very serious representation must go. The institute stand has been, even though we have been representing from, you had told All India Taxpayer have taken over as president. As AITPA, we have been representing. But institute have taken a decision that they will not represent for date extensions. This is the view, sir. The official view that the institute have taken is that we will no longer represent for tax date extensions. So it has to be done by the government themselves, or it can be done by other authorities. So instead, you are seeing BCAS is doing, All India Taxpayer is doing. So different persons from different part of the country are representation. Even though they are effectively CAs, it is not going officially from ICAI because the current stand of the Central Council is they will not ask for extensions. But practically, we have to ask for extensions. It's just not practical. If the forms were notified on first week of April, we would have had April, May, June, July, 4 months we would have had to file the returns. Whereas today, we are in August, last date is 30th September. We have only 1.5 months and still everything is not working properly. In my view, extension should be 100% come. And government will be very risky for the government to say we will not extend now. When I tried to use DSC, I was asked to change the token PIN. Only after I changed the PIN, document got run. That's very odd, Bala, sir. I have not faced this issue. where PIN is asked to be changed. It may be your own PIN software, sir, because normally the certain softwares, they ask you to change the PIN. I have seen certain softwares, when you open that software, it will ask, but I don't think it is income tax related. It may be the software related. That also is optional only. You can quit if you want. Excellent presentation. Thank you, sir. Presentation is good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sir, a trust which is regularly filing, the option for return filing for which due date expired, it automatically selected as no. It is not allowing me to change the option to yes. Sir, if the due date is expired, then that option will be no only. It will not allow you to select yes, because that question that is asked, have you filed the return for the last year within the due date? So if you have filed, yes will automatically be selected. If it is no, don't worry. Ensure that in the attachments, in the final screen for uploading, when attachments are there, any other attachments, you put the annual accounts, you put the income tax return that has been filed. So ensure you put that over there as any other attachment. Ensure you name it correctly also in the name of that document. Immovable property gifted to wife, no rental income earned, as house is not let out. Should the husband show any income from such property gifted to wife and registered with sub-registrar? Sir, this is it will come under clubbing. So it's actually a unique clause where clubbing comes. You can definitely show it in the husband's name. But if it's anyway self-occupied, I think it's okay if you show on the wife's name. Kumar sir has asked, is there any requirement to fill electricity connection number? No, sir, it's not required. Currently, so far, not required. I don't know whether in the future they will ask that. Salary income is up to 50 lakhs, but has sold some equity shares and mutual funds. Does he need to file ITR? Moment mutual funds come, ma'am, ITR 2 has to be done for achievement. Power bill, one bill or multiple bills. Sir, aggregate of all bills, all houses. I have 10 houses. It is an aggregate of all the houses, not individual house. So aggregate of all 10 houses, if it crosses 1 lakh for the year, I have to disclose it under that, even if no other income I'm crossing. Balakrishnan sir. Sir, how to account for imports not taken delivery? Whether when advance is paid for imports of goods. That this normal accounting thing, sir, this is not a problem as far as the income tax website is concerned. You can show it as an advance. Assessee has sold house in previous year 1920. Buyer has deducted TDS but remitted in July 2021. How can I claim the refund? 154 not enabled on website. Will this be case or what is the course? Vamsi, sir, as I told you, I gave you an example of a case that I faced. The only solution 154 is currently not enabled on the website, but you can make a manual application for the 154. Go to your jurisdictional officer, file a letter, submit it in Tapal, get a proof and put it in your file that you have submitted it. One option is that. Second option, alternatively, you can go for a 264. File a 264 petition before your commissioner and you can do it. 3, you can go for 119 2B, which is you go to your principal chief commissioner or your CBDT, depending on the levels that you're talking about, whatever is the income that you're looking at. Based on that, you can go to the according appropriate authority level and submit over there. So these are your options that you have for relief over here. The addition made for non-deduction of TDS under 40A1A, will it be reported under reporting of income and can penalty be levied under 270A? In my view, penalty cannot be levied here. It is not a penaltyable transaction. It is something you have just disclosed. So it should not be a problem. I think this can be argued, sir. Multiple case laws are there in favor of the assessee. You can go on appeal if they are doing that. So how long we have to face IT forms problem? Every year you're facing their change in any ITR forms 3 series. Then what can I do? They are changing every year. We have to keep updated. So Gopi sir, where I have to upload the objection for issuing the notice under section 148 for notices received after 31(3). Sir, you can now, since e-proceeding is enabled, you can go there and raise objection against the reasons given. One very interesting thing that you might have seen, they are giving the reasons along with 143(2). Actually, that is not correct. Reasons should come separately and then you have to raise objections. They have to dispose of the objections. Then only they can proceed with 143(2). So the procedure currently followed by the department, even though today's session is not on reopening, I can tell you that 143(2) should not be issued till the disposal of the objection. So you can raise a issue here saying that the law is not followed, procedure is not followed. Will misreporting of income or underreporting, will it be misreporting or underreporting? I think it's pertaining to that 40A 1A. It will not be, sir. You can argue it. How to check that UDIN is not uploaded in any of the IT forms? I don't understand the question, Chairman, sir.
Sir, now there is an option to update the UDIN.
Ah.
The institute has given some time.
Yes.
So, but once it is uploaded, how to see that the UDIN is not uploaded in that particular form? Whether any shortcut method is available, or we have to go to that form and see whether UDIN is updated there or not?
You have to go to the form, sir, because I think currently it is not there, any shortcut method as it stands. Maybe they will bring it out. Form 16 TDS is deducted, but in 26 years it is not reflected. Is there any remedy? Either the quarterly return has not been filed, sir, or they have deducted in a wrong PAN number or wrong details they have given about the assessee. Ask the assessee to take it up with their employer or whoever is the person who deducted it. If details of investment in shares of unlisted company not available as the investment made 20 years, what is the solution? Sir, see, this is what they are expecting you to give. If it has no bearing on anything, you just leave it, sir. It is okay. Sometimes it is going to be impossible to get those details. Because of change in IFSC of SBI Group, now it is showing as validation is in progress. And the second account is validated. Based on this, I am unable to file. This is another issue that a lot of people have been telling me. We have raised this already. And hopefully this week it will get fixed, sir. Very good presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Share the PPT. Definitely, I'll be happy to share the PPT. It will be my pleasure. One more century not out from you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Property was gifted to wife. Okay, this question I've already covered. Excellent presentation. Annuity from LIC. Can it be shown as salary? No, Meena ma'am. To be shown as salary, you must have have had an employer-employee relationship. If it is not employer-employee relationship, you cannot come under salary income. That will come only other sources. So annuity will come under other sources. So I think with this, we have covered all the questions. So thank you so much all for a wonderful interaction. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Once again, I am sharing my WhatsApp number. You can see it on the screen. I will share it again. So I'll be sharing regular updates also. I think Chairman sir and the management committee members know. So I send regular updates, and whatever discussions we are having with Finance Ministry also, I will update you. Feel free to drop me a message in WhatsApp. I will save your contact and I'll be happy to share the same with you. So thank you so much for a very patient hearing. Thoroughly enjoyed the interaction. Thank you for the chairman and the management committee members for inviting me once again. I always enjoy coming here, and our chairman with his smiling face, and all the management committee members also, I must say, of Ongole branch. So I feel blessed with the people here. So thank you so much, sir. So over to the chairman. Chairman, you are muted. You are muted.
Thank you, sir. Very wonderful presentation, sir. Normally for the question answer session, hardly will find less than 50%. But now still now also 72, sir. It shows how interactivity is, how the presentation is good. Now over to moderator.
Thank you, sir, once again for the excellent presentation. Now I request our branch treasurer, CA Jagan Mohan Rao Baisani, to present a vote of thanks and also national anthem.
Thank you, sir. Abhishek, sir, for your active presentation and excellent presentation. Our people are very happy to see you once again also after settling the issue site. I thank you, our today's chief guest, CA G.Bala garu, who is my guru in practice. Our branch also thanking you, CA Muppal Subbarao garu, past chairman of Guntur branch. This session is very interactive and it is very helpful in day-to-day practice, sir, which is very, very firesome. Today, chief guest, we should bless you to see you as ICA president, sir. We congratulate on behalf of our Ongole branch, sir. Previously, our Abhishek has taken session on taxation of capital gains, which was well attended and well received by our members. Every time his session is houseful, sir. Today also houseful 100%, sir. Next, last, I thank our moderator, CAC Tiruvai Kumar Garu of our Ongole branch for conducting online and virtual seminars of our Ongole branch. I thank all the members of attending today's seminar. We also thank our past chairmen of our Ongole branch, CA Korpat Subbarao Garu, Vijay Kumar, RLN Ramprasad, Madhav Satyanarayana, to make the Ongole branch as very vibrant and active branch. Our branch is fourth largest branch in Andhra Pradesh after Vijayawada, Vizag and Guntur. We thank the senior members of our profession and past chairman Kadapa, past chairman Kota Janardhan Rao Garu for his attending today's seminar, and senior member SVG Ratan Gupta Garu, like that, and CVS Manian, the senior members has attended today's program, sir. We are very happy to announce this also, sir. Thank you, one and all. Now, the final end session, Janaganamana, we will complete with the Janaganamana, sir. Janaganamana Adinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarata Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jaladita Ranga Tava Subhana Me Jage Tava Subha Asisha Mage Gahe Tava Jaya Gada Janagana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He Jai Hind Jai ICI.
మీరు జనగణమనలో కూడా రాటు తేలుతున్నారు జగన్ గారు.